Hey, welcome to the Straight Sports Podcast. We're your host Joshua, and
Tashar.
in this podcast, we give our opinions on our favorite sports, which are basketball, soccer, and wrestling.
I want to say real quick, it's been a little while, but we're excited to be back. We have a huge episode in store for you. We got a special guest coming at the end of the episode. We're going to be talking about who is our pick to come out the East and the West in the NBA and tell to you guys who is our team to win the NBA championship. This is a huge episode. We're really excited. So let's get into it. Topic number 1. Today we will be discussing part 2 of our 3-part topic where we talk about each NBA team and say whether they exceeded our expectations this season, fell short of our expectations and underperformed this season, or have met our expectation and played as predicted. Today we will cover teams between the 10th and the 6th seed. So we'll start in the East. Number 10, the Atlanta Hawks.
The Hawks, this team, I have to say, underperformed. Like last season, they were in the conference finals, believe it or not. And this season, they're 10th. Like, isn't that crazy? The roster is pretty much similar. Trae Young is still playing crazy. He has great numbers.
Not too many changes in the roster. Very similar.
And, I don't know what it is. Like, this team is very much underperforming. I expect them to be one of the higher seeds,
Probably in the 4th through 7th
Yeah, around
range.
there,
Yeah.
like comfortably, though.
Yeah.
And they're this low.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
blame Nate McMillan because I think he's a solid coach for what he did last year.
You can't
And,
do that, yeah. Like he
and I
deserves
don't know
that
what it
coaching
is, man.
position.
They have John Collins on that roster, another good young player. Like the team is good. I just don't know what it. Maybe it's not clicking this year. I don't know. It's just disappointing to me, and especially with the way I see Trae Young playing. He's playing at an elite level, and it's just sad that that the roster isn't actually. I can't even say it's the roster. Like it's really just sad that this team isn't playing up to their full potential, in my opinion. Because I think
Yeah.
they should be one of the better teams in the East.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you said it right on the dot. I mean, underperformed for sure. The season before they had this kind of I would say Cinderella story. I mean, a team that was 5th in the East and they played the Knicks and there was a lot of hype around, the Knicks back in the playoffs after a long time. I know Danny was very happy and then Trae Young became a villain in New York, and they won in 5 games. They play the Sixers, the first seed, which like you were telling me, Josh, earlier, seeding, doesn't matter. But still, for them to beat the Sixers, nobody saw it coming. Sixers were number 1 for a reason, and they knocked out the Sixers. And then they played the Milwaukee Bucks, and they lost in 6 games. Trae Young got hurt, and Giannis. Who knows how the series would have been if both teams were healthy? I mean,
Yeah,
and then this season coming in, they were a lot lower, but they started to catch fire, and now they're a lot higher. Like there's 10th, but they were even lower than this. But I think they still have a chance at that playoffs. But it's definitely surprising for them to be this low, like in the standings. Did not see this coming. Trae Younger's playing at an elite level, similar to last season. I mean, he made the All-Star team. He was if I'm correct, he was a starter, right? So in the All-Star
yeah.
game. So I mean, he's even playing better probably than last season. It's so hard to say that Trae Young, like top passer in the league, a top scorer in the league. It's shocking for sure. They underperformed and definitely underperformed. Number 9, the Charlotte Hornets.
I say this team has met my expectations. I didn't expect them to be like much higher. I expect them to like not competitive, but a good basketball team led by LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and some other good pieces. Coached by
By a prodigy coming from San Antonio.
James Borrego,
Yeah.
good coach. They're playing good basketball. I think they can.
They got a shot at the playoffs
Yeah, they do.
because, I mean, of course, I root for it because who doesn't want to see LaMelo Ball? He's
Yeah,
showtime. When he comes on the
yeah,
court,
he
he's
is
showtime, and you want to
amazing
watch it.
passer. Yeah, but like I was saying, pretty much like they pretty much met my expectations. I thought they'd be around here. I didn't really imagine them much higher or much lower. I don't think they're that bad or that great, but I feel like this roster has potential. Good young team, like I said, and yeah, they met my expectations.
For me, I'm going to have to say expected as well. I mean, they were in a similar position last season. I think they were the 10th seed last season when the Pacers were ninth.
Yeah,
They were in that range, being in the play-in. I think it's a small range, especially the fact that the East is so difficult this season. There's too many good teams. To me, it's expected. They're playing still great basketball. Like I said, the East is very competitive. They have a really good team. They have an all-star in LaMelo Ball. Miles Bridges, people say potential snub. I put him on my list, but LaMelo and Miles Bridges, both all-star caliber players. Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, great coach. Just a great team overall. It's fun to watch. Brought excitement back to the Charlotte franchise. And you know, they're going to be a good team to come in the future. And this year, they'll have a chance at that playoff push. Obviously, right now they're ninth, so they would have to win 2 games to get in. But we'll see if they'll be able to make it because Right now we look like the Cavs, Toronto, the Nets, Charlotte, and Atlanta's in that list. Obviously, one of them is going to get the 60. Either probably Toronto, the Cavs, or the Nets, maybe. But yeah, number 8, the Brooklyn Nets.
Very much underperformed for my
No.
predictions in the beginning of the season. I had them as being one of the better teams. I mean,
But
they
it's very scary now with the news that came out.
yeah, especially with the news that we will talk about later, with Kyrie becoming
Oh
well
my goodness, what a
able
shock
to
to the
play
league.
now at home games. Like I was saying, underperformed. I mean, mainly to like the commotion in the beginning of the season with Kyrie being part time, not being able to play home games,
Yeah,
injuries, the Harden issues,
yeah,
and stuff like that. Him not trying, as some people might say, but it all just came together for them to have a pretty like underwhelming season, pretty
yeah.
much. I mean, there's still time to redeem it in the postseason, but I feel like as it's set now in the regular season, it's just not good enough.
Yeah, they clearly underperformed. Obviously, like I said, so there was a lot of factors of reason why they underperformed. They had 11 to 12, I think, a long losing streak that they eventually broke. But obviously, with Kyrie being part time in and out the lineup, and then James, being unhappy, became a problem, and and he axed out, and it was a whole dilemma with that. And then Katie being hurt, because before Katie was hurt, they were the first seed,
Yeah,
and then comes back to the eighth. So, I mean, speaks to the greatness of that one player. So, but obviously, it was a lot. Kyrie not being able to play every single game. With James' situation again, once again, and then with Katie. So yeah, it's basically they underperformed, obviously, but I mean, things are looking up now. Like you said, we're going to talk about it later with the Kyrie situation. He's now back full time. So, I mean, didn't envision them being 8C with that type of talent. So,
yeah.
number 7, the Toronto Raptors.
This team has exceeded my expectations like very much. Last season they were 12th, and they've done very well for themselves to be in this position. I mean, they have a great core in Fred VanVleet,
Yeah,
Pascal
all star.
Siakam, Scotty Barnes,
Oh, Scotty Barnes. Got to put
Gary
some
Trent,
respect on his name.
and a solid coach in Nick Nurse. I mean, they're playing good basketball. Um, and yeah, they just exceeded. I thought
Yeah.
last season they were horrible, like straight up, like they sucked last season. And
Dang.
and I don't know if it was because maybe they wanted a better pick, which it probably has something to do with it. But I thought they would be around the same spot because the roster hasn't changed. I mean, they added some pieces obviously, but like I mean, I guess that just comes down to playing together as a unit, good coaching, and buying into the system, which I
Yeah.
always like systems like that. Team oriented,
Yeah.
and I just feel like they passed my expectations and they did very well for themselves this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you again. Right on the dot, exceeded, of course. The season before. Kyle Lowry left. With the DeRozan situation, Kawhi Leonard left previously. So obviously, looking at the team, it looked like a clear rebuild. And Messiah had a vision, and he still believed in this team, and they can compete. And obviously, took some time. Actually, only 1 year because they missed the playoffs only 1 year. But I mean, obviously, they have to first qualify. This season goes through the play-in, but they're back to being competitive. It was just 1 year of probably not being competitive, and they're back. Obviously, Fred VanVleet taking a huge emergence, since Kyle Lowry and everybody they left, Kawhi Leonard, and he was an all-star, so he's improved. Pascal Siakam is playing really good. Scotty Barnes, the pick that a lot of people looked at, was like, wait, they passed on Jalen Suggs.
Yeah,
Um, People shocked, and this pick looks great. I mean, can't complain, right? This is a very good pick, Scotty Barnes. Like I said, I know we don't sometimes like to do this comparison thing, but he reminds me a lot, like on the defensive end, he reminds me a lot of, Kawhi Leonard, able to guard, anybody's a two-way player on the offensive end. Like he's tall as KD. If he could just develop, that offensive game, he has a skill set of being a kind of a combination of those two players, which is crazy to say. Like
yeah,
defensively, that great, like Kawhi Leonard could lock up. And then offensively, he has the potential to do that. Obviously, I'm not going to compare because KD's, he's the best player in the world. So we cannot, like making those small comparisons. And he has the potential to be a superstar. He has that potential. So yeah, exceed our expectations. And if they're in the playoffs, they're going to be a tough outing for any team. Number 6, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
also exceeded. They were 13th last season. Also pretty
Also,
bad.
they were predicted to only have 28 wins by, I think, some like, I don't know if it was betting odds, but maybe it was ESPN or something like that. Like they were only predicted for these many wins. And look at them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they were playing great. Like they actually played great basketball, great to watch. Darius Garland is special, I think.
Yeah,
Evan
potential
Mobley is
coach of the year
special.
candidate, JB Bickerstaff.
Facts. Jamie Bickerstaff is a talented coach. Dre Allen is also really good. Like the rosters, and it's funny because people were coming into the season clowning the roster, saying it's all big
Oh
men,
yeah, 82-0, and then Jared Allen kind of even they clowned on
and
it,
they
but
proved them wrong.
hey,
They
I
proved them
mean,
wrong.
can't say anything with the talent. Darius
Honestly,
Garland is a star in this league.
he is. the roster composition was surprising to me in the beginning of the season. I'll admit it, but the
Maybe
coach and the
LeBron should come
organization,
back. Go back to Cleveland.
yeah, with the coach and the organization, they did it. They stuck to their plan. They held to it and they performed. And I can only see them getting better.
Like we know when we talk about the Cavs, we've always talked about LeBron's played, and of course he's a legend. He's won a championship there. He broke the drought. He was part of it with Kyrie and everybody else.
Yeah.
But something to know that they've succeeded, without LeBron James. I know it took
Yep.
them a few years, but once LeBron left, went to the Lakers, took them a few years, but they have succeeded. This is
Hmm.
without LeBron James. They have not done this before, so I think that's also a big thing to look at. Like, yeah, LeBron left, and that's his choice, but we're the Cavs and we're relevant.
True. They're playing great. I mean, there's nothing bad I can say. Like they have a bunch of young talent on the roster. Jared Allen is a star. I think Evan
Colin
Mobley's going to be a
Sexton hasn't
star.
even played.
That's true. And
Jared
it's
Allen's
just
hurt
scary
too
to
now. They
see
got
like
Rondo. I mean, they
what
got.
their potential is. Like it's really high. I think.
I'm gonna have to agree to exceed expectations. Um, I mean, they were like so many years not really that good of a team, and they come in this season. Nobody thinks they're gonna make the playoffs. And Darius Garland, he is a really good passer. Like I'll be seeing like 13 assists. I'm like, dang. Now Rondo's on his team. He's gonna go to another level. Jared Allen, All Star. He made the All Star team. Brooklyn, hey, good looks. You gave James with the James Harden trade, you gave them Jared Allen, and also I forgot Karis LeVert is on the team, so good looks to
Yeah.
Brooklyn. But obviously LeVert was in Indiana, but still, like he's there now. Um, the Cavs are good. They have a really good team. I like the mixture of the young guys and the vets. The Cavs knew, with the injury of Ricky Rubio and then Colin Sexton, they needed another playmaker, and they got it. They went out and got Rajon Rondo from the Lakers. Um, they went out to get Karis LeVert. They really putting an emphasis on making this push this season of being a playoff team. And they
Yeah.
got a lot of talent. And I like the mixture again, with Colin Sexton, Garland, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. Those are young, Laurie Markkinen, Sida Osman. And then you combine it with some vets like Kevin Love and Rondo, who's been there, who's won championships. So I like the mixture. And JB Bickerstaff, what can I say? Potential coach of the year candidate. This kind of feels like the Knicks story with the way the Knicks were with Tibbs, but just a little bit better. No knock on Danny, but better this story because they're really talented. They got a lot of talent. They're over, and a lot of times teams like we think about Milwaukee. Milwaukee's one of those tall teams that won a championship, right? Like with like having a Giannis, Chris
Yeah.
Middleton, Brook Lopez. The Cavs start marking in Allen and Mobley. We forgot we even
Yeah.
talked
That's
about mention the
crazy.
rookie of the year in our opinions. Like uh they start with that kind of lineup is so effective. They're really good defensively. So yeah, exceed expectation. They're really fun to watch. I'm just happy for Cleveland. They just deserve to be relevant again. So moving on to the West, we already talked about the Pelicans and they're already the 10th seed, and the standings changed. So we're just gonna talk about the team that we didn't talk about. So the number 12 seed, the Portland Trailblazers.
Being honest, like from the beginning of the season, I had them way higher. So, I mean, I'll just say straight up, like they fell short. I mean, but if I were to have to adjust it for like after the moves, I mean, I say expected, like because this team is not good. Even being honest from before, like I always thought that the roster was overrated. Like all they had was
Strong
Dame
team.
and CJ. They got rid of CJ.
I mean, we knew that they couldn't keep the same team. Like
I
everybody
mean,
knew
yeah, that's
that. But
true,
like
but
trades they made, like they got a lot. I mean, obviously no disrespect to the players, but they obviously didn't get better.
yeah,
And obviously Dame's hurt and he's out for the season. But if their plan is to build around Dame, it's just hard because I remember Dame coming out and saying like, like there's talent that goes to Milwaukee, or did he say was it Cleveland or OKC? He said one of those teams. But like we got to think about Milwaukee was not really any free agents came. It was kind of
yeah.
Giannis got drafted, Chris Middleton. Okay, Drew Holiday through trade, but like usually you get these stars through trades. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he's
So
also
like,
forgetting that the teams that he's naming are players who, at the time, you could say he said the Cavs, which I believe is for reference to LeBron.
and of course, like if LeBron's there, a lot of players come. And also, they didn't get that many. Like if you think about top tier, obviously Kyrie was
Yeah,
there. Kevin Love came technically. Well, it was kind of like a sign and trade,
yeah. They didn't get
but
really big
like
names. They just got
he
players that
didn't.
fit them.
After that, like when Kyrie left, they tried to like not a lot of stars. He even admitted that like now being in LA, like he believes he can get it. When he was in
Yeah,
Cleveland, not a lot of people want to come. So obviously, when you have a talent like LeBron, so I'm saying, but like Portland, there's no knock. Obviously, it's a great place, but it's hard for like anybody. It's hard. We know the statement he made. I just don't feel like anybody was gonna go there, especially how bad of a team they are.
yeah. But just to continue though, like I said from last season, I mean, and even in the beginning of the season, I mean, always they're always in like the playoff mix. So I guess considering that, I mean, I'd just say they underperformed.
So me, I said the Blazers as expected. I'd even don't even think underperform. Obviously, if they were healthy, they had obviously if they didn't trade and had Dame seeds, they would have been in that
Yeah,
mix of playing,
I agree.
right? That's what I expected. But obviously they're hurt, so you're gonna expect them to be the 12 seed, especially if they traded everybody.
Literally
So
everyone.
they literally trade everybody, and to me, look, I don't have if Lillard's low, and I respect that, I really do. But like, it's just hard to me to envision to think like in a few years you're gonna win a championship when you have teams like we still got the Warriors, they're relevant. We got the Sixers. We haven't even spoke about the pairing of James Harden and Joel Embiid. We got Brooklyn. I mean, Celtics. There's too many teams, but right now you can name like maybe 20. A lot of teams better than the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah,
Portland Trailblazers is no disrespect, but obviously because it's this season, we'll see what happens in the next season. They're like in the level of Orlando or Pistons. Do you think? Like, now maybe not
man.
that bad, but like because no, right now because Dame's not playing. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Like you could expect any team to go out there and beat them. Now,
that's
obviously, if
true.
Dame is playing, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah.
disrespect on any team, but like obviously because right now, but that's different. You know, they know the season is over. So, but my point is, this is expected. Like I just didn't expect them to be like a top one seed or something. I just felt like they'd be in that playing range, and obviously because of everybody they traded and Dame being out, this is expected them to not be in the playoff picture. And their one bright spot is Anthony Simons has been balling. I mean, there was a game he's been like averaging 30, in like previous games. I think he got hurt, but like he's a talented star. But I just think again for the franchise and Dame, I think it's time to move on. Like it's hard. Let's see what happens in the offseason, but I think we both know. I'm trying to look at the free agents. I mean, James Harden has a player option. He's gonna stay. Kyrie Irving, I mean, he's not going to Portland. So like it's yeah. Zach
Yeah.
Levine. I mean, also they play the same position. So it's just hard. I don't know. I don't know who's coming. I mean, you might get some decent players, but you're telling me you're getting star players, hard to see. So but hey, we'll see what happens. Number 9, can't believe I'm saying this, but they're the 9th seed, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Underperform from my preseason predictions because this team, I'm sorry, this team sucks.
You
Like
don't got to be
actually,
sorry.
this
Just being
roster
honest. You're a
composition
truth
is
teller.
horrible. The GM for the first time has failed. The GM has failed. This roster is not it. Anthony Davis is injury prone. He's out consistently. Russell Westbrook has been playing like trash. He's been playing like trash. And I said that with no disrespect
Yeah,
intended,
obviously, because
but
obviously we heard,
he's
I
playing
just want to
horrible.
say, I want to say something to Josh real quick before we talk about, obviously we heard about the Russell Westbrook, his family,
Yeah.
getting death threats. Of course, we are totally against that. That should
Yeah,
not happen
that's
to any
unacceptable.
player. That's crossing the line. But when it comes to, I think now if you want to, I think this even notion of calling somebody Westbrook, obviously he doesn't like it, and now that he said it, any away arena he goes to, they are going to say
Yeah,
that.
he shouldn't. Yeah,
So
true.
to me, the notion is like I feel like he hasn't owned up to playing bad, and I feel like he should own up to. And I feel like, just like this name, like yeah, I think it comes to the territory of being a basketball player. Like this
Yeah,
is like you signed up for this. I mean, LeBron James, he's heard a lot of things throughout his career.
true.
He's heard it the most. So I know Russell Westbrook, he's a Hall of Famer, but like you're gonna hear this as star players. You gotta accept it. Like this is part of the league, and especially you're in the Lakers. Like when you're playing in Washington, no disrespect, like you're not gonna hear too much noise. But you play for the Lakers, you have expectations, and then also you came out to say that I had no expectations coming here. That is crazy. That's bogus.
That's
Even
a crazy
Magic Johnson
statement.
said something about that.
Yeah,
You
that's an
cannot
embarrassing
come out
statement.
if you wear the purple and gold. You cannot come out and say that you have no
Yeah, and on top of that,
expectations.
he's on a super team.
You think LeBron James wants to be a non-playoff team?
Yeah,
That's not what LeBron James.
it's
LeBron
crazy.
James every season it's about the chip.
Oh yeah,
That's what he's about.
true.
You look. It doesn't even matter what seat they were. You just can't say that.
That's true.
But like obviously, once again, the death threats, we were totally against that. It shouldn't happen to any player. That's taking it way too far. But when it comes to, the name calling and him saying no expectation, like I said, it just comes with the fact that, um that he plays for the Lakers and that has a
True.
factor in everything. But yeah,
Yeah,
continue, Josh. I just want to, get that off.
yeah. Pretty much like I said, his play hasn't been that great, and the team isn't that good. I hope Frank Vogel doesn't get the scapegoat and get fired.
Yeah, I feel like he is
But
gonna get
it
fired.
seems like that's what's gonna end
I
up
feel like
happening.
he is. It feels like it's gonna happen. I
Like
just don't want
it's
it to
crazy
happen
because
though.
37-year-old LeBron has to drop 30 points a night plus for them to even be competitive in
Actually,
games.
50 to
Yeah,
win.
like that's crazy to even say. He's playing out of his mind. Obviously, he's always in the MVP consideration, but I mean, his
Yeah,
team
he
is
won't
horrible
be
right
in it,
now.
but like he's still playing as a top
Yeah,
talent.
it's just crazy to say, man.
Yeah, they clearly underperformed. I mean, I picked them to win the championship in the preseason. I'm looking
Yeah.
like a fool right
I
now on this
mean I mean, you
podcast.
can't say that because like, the team literally it's a super team, like, you have 3 Hall of Fame players, arguably. It's 3 Hall of Fame players on the team.
I'm happy you brought that up
Because it's
because
actually
I
crazy
feel
that people
like
don't even acknowledge that.
yeah, I feel like the notion around is like, oh, because they're old and they're trash. Let's not forget, if we're gonna talk about failed super team, this is the biggest failed super team out there. When you're
Yes.
telling me you have Anthony Davis, I understand he's been hurt, but you have Anthony Davis. He's a star. LeBron James, he's a superstar. You got Russell Westbrook, he's a star. You got Carmelo, Hall of Famer, Dwight Howard, Hall of Famer, and then the talent they got
And
some
they're
young
all on the
guys.
75th anniversary team, like, that's
Yeah,
crazy, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly. I
crazy.
mean, Dwight
Melo
Howard
too.
got robbed though.
Yeah,
Let's
he
not
did,
forget about that.
he did.
But
Yeah.
this is crazy.
This
Like
team is just a
they,
roster.
this is a super team, and I know we talked about this team being trash because that's what they performed to. And
Yeah,
obviously, age, everything has a factor. But they built this team. Itself. LeBron was a part. I'm not saying you can't just say, yeah, LeBron. He has a say in it. He wanted Russ, and he got in. And they listened. Obviously, they had other offers on the table, but it is what it is. But like this is a failed super team, no question, because like they have so much talent, and like I feel like when it comes to we'll talk about obviously end season, see if they make the playoffs or not. If they don't make it, we'll talk about potentially this impacts LeBron legacy. I feel like as a great player, every season has an impact. You know what I'm saying?
I
Especially this
agree.
because of
Yeah,
how this is a Anthony Davis and LeBron James. We saw what they did in the bubble. They that talented.
yeah,
But unfortunately, injuries, the fit Russell Westbrook has been so bad. I mean, Magic Johnson even said like, if they don't make the playoffs, this could be the worst trade in Laker history.
that's true.
But they underperformed clearly because, like I said, I had them winning a championship in the preseason, and I was clearly wrong. They're like the ninth seed. They're probably, I mean, I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. We're going to find out. And obviously, LeBron James been playing out of his mind. He has to play great for them to be good. And then we got Anthony Davis. He can't stay on the court. Unfortunately, he's injury prone, and you just got to say he is. Russell Westbrook's been a bad fit. He's underperformed tremendously all season long. He's playing a little better now, but like the roster's old, no offense to them. That's no knock on them. It's just we were seeing it when we're talking about that, as they can't guard anybody. Jalen Green came out and said when they played the Rockets that the game plan was to attack Melo. He violated. He came out straight and said that. And with the notion of Frank Vogel being scapegoat, I don't like this. Always coach get fired. Coach get fired. Frank Vogel's been number one defensively in his first 2 seasons with the Lakers. You want to know why? Because of the personnel. He had Danny Green, guys like KCP. He had the JaVale McGee. You know what I'm saying? He had the personnel. When you give him personnel, no offense, like Russell Westbrook, he can't guard nobody. Carmelo's not a good defender. And Anthony Davis is out all the time. So, like, the personnels are not good defenders. What is he supposed to do? Like, he can give you a game plan, and if they don't execute it, it is what it is. He's a great coach, and I feel like he's going to continue to get disrespect, and it feels like he's going to get fired. Of course, I don't want him to get fired because he doesn't deserve it. I feel like you give him a roster that fits his coaching style, and if he underperforms, then now you have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't give him a roster that fits his defensive mind. You gave him offensive players,
That's
basically.
true. Yeah, good point.
That's unfair. Like, that's totally unfair. But anyways, the Lakers underperformed. They've been the story all season long of how, like you said, they're trash. And that's it. The bottom line is they're trash. All right, number 8, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Exceeded. I give credit when credit is due.
Yeah,
And to
finally you
me,
gave us our respects.
like, Ty Lue is
Yeah,
one of the best coaches in the NBA.
yeah,
They're
say that
missing their
again.
stars.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard isn't there. Paul George isn't there. They're
He's been
still
out for a long
competitive.
time.
And I mean, honestly, what he's doing with his roster is actually special. Like, I'm serious. They're 8 seed. And they're even acquiring more pieces
4-0
for
against the
the
Lakers. Just want to
future
put it
and
out
next
there.
season.
4-0 against the
Yeah,
Lakers.
they swept them in the season series, which I mean is crazy to even say. But I
Wow.
mean, the Clippers playing great basketball. I mean, for what they have, it's just honestly, it's fun to watch. I'm being honest. Like,
Thank you.
they're playing good and exceeded. I mean, they're comfortably in the playoffs, which I'm honestly impressed. And Ty Lue has impressed me a lot.
You have a point there. Like, if they have these 2 stars for so many months, like you would think of them in Portland's level. But yeah, I just want to say they exceeded tremendously. I mean, Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know how he's figured
true.
out to do this. There's a lot of talent there. There's not a legit star there, but a lot of young team. We got Reggie, he's been playing great. Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, Zubac, Isaiah Hartenstein, Terrence Mann, a lot of talent. I'm just excited with this team, how they perform. They really show what the Clippers is about. Like, yeah, we don't have our stars, but we're going to compete. And that's what Ty Lue has invested in. Like, yeah, you understand We don't have the talent like other teams like Philly or Golden State. All these teams have, but we're gonna compete and we're gonna make it tough. And they've had wins like wow, they beat the Warriors for example. They've had those kind of wins. They played the Suns and they were very competitive. So give Ty Lue credit. This team has exceeded, and I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm booking it. They're making the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 7, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Exceeded a lot, honestly. I
Mm.
expect this team to be more around the playing area. I
Well,
mean,
technically they are. They're 7. So
yeah, they are, but
you
I
mean the
mean, like
lower
the
end?
lower, yeah,
Oh,
like the
okay.
lower half of the playing area,
Oh, that
and they're
makes
playing
sense.
good. Like they're playing well. They've been great. Young trio, Anthony Towns, D'Angelo
Edwards
Russell,
is a star in this league.
Anthony Edwards, talented.
D'Lo,
I mean, they're playing good. They play good
Patrick Beverly.
basketball.
Yeah.
Pat Beverly, a good veteran, and I feel like he fits right into the team. They're playing well. I mean, and shout out to Anthony Towns. He did win the 3-point contest, which was
Shout out to
expected.
them. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about. I know we didn't even get a
Yeah,
chance to talk about All
yeah,
Star game,
yeah,
but that dunk contest, whoa, that was
yeah,
whack.
yeah, horrible. But
But
yeah,
hey, OB Toppin, New York, let's get it.
yeah, but I did. I really do like the Wolves roster. I mean, I feel like in future years they'll get better and better. And like I said, they exceed my expectations this season.
I mean, I say expected because I think when we talked about
Mm,
their, I had them. I believe. I know we recorded an episode a long time ago, but I believe I had them in the play-in mix and making the playoffs. I really believe. Like I believe. I look at talent on paper. I mean, Edwards, D'Lo, and Cat, like that's star power. Like they're
yeah,
really good. And then Patrick Beverly, brought that defensive mindset. He's been great for them. This is to me, yeah, expected. I just felt like they would be in that play-in mix, which they are, right? And they're really competitive. They're fun to watch. And they're really just a really good team. And shout out again to Karl Anthony Towns, won the 3-point contest. He said, he's going to try to prove that, I'm one of the best big man shooters. I think he said he is the best, and it's hard to debate that. I mean, he won the three
yeah,
point contest. He's definitely one of the best big man 3-point shooters, and it's hard to say because obviously, in the past we don't really see big man shoot a lot. Now we see it with Joker and Karl Anthony Towns. Can't deny it. Got to give him the crown. When it comes
mm,
to 3-point shooting as big man, he's that good. But yeah, expected. They're playing great. Great coach. It's just fun. It's happy to see Minnesota. Obviously, they've been very bad for a very long time.
yeah,
They only made the playoffs once when Jimmy Butler and Tibbs were there. So it's just happy to see them having fun and that big three. They're really good big three, and they're gonna be the future's very bright over there. Number 6, the Denver Nuggets.
I'd say met expectations. I mean, with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. out, Jokic still playing at MVP level. I mean,
And you got to give him respect. I'm
yeah,
sick of the disrespect I'm hearing. I'm hearing Nick Wright completely disrespecting him all the time. Look, people got opinions, but it's not right to just disrespect a guy like this. He's a talent.
yeah,
He's an MVP candidate, and he
yeah, he
deserves his
is.
respect. But sorry, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you said. I mean, they're playing good basketball. I mean, obviously with two of their most important players out, I mean, it's gonna be hard to like go to where like they should be with their full strength roster, which I think is one of the top teams in the West. But I think they're doing well. I mean, I think they might even cause some teams some trouble in the playoffs. Who knows? Because
Yeah.
you know how they play,
Yeah.
and I feel like they met expectations, and I'm looking forward to seeing them at full strength next season.
I said met expectations. Obviously, I thought they'd honestly, you could even argue you might think they'd be a little lower. They're the 6th seed right now, and they're fighting. They're
Yeah,
close in that play-in picture. It's tight, but they're finding ways to win. And that credit goes to Nikola Jokic, and I think Michael Malone got a contract extension with Denver. Congrats to him, well deserved, great coach. But Nikola Jokic has been phenomenal. Whatever talent he's been on the floor, he's just exceeded with that talent. Obviously, Aaron Gordon's been there, but like I gotta give credit. I know when I talk about development, like teams that are good at developing players, I think about San Antonio, I think about Miami, and I think about Golden State. I gotta put Denver on that list too now. The talent that they've been able
yeah,
to develop, any star that's come to any player, I'm not even particular stars, but role players, any players that come to Denver, they play good. Bones Highland, I hope I say his name right. He's been playing great. Monte Morris, he's been great. Like whatever players step foot on a Denver Nuggets uniform, they play great. And that's a
yeah,
testament to the Denver Nuggets, like the way they are good at developing players. This is a really good team, and they met my expectation. But as long as Nikola Jokic plays, Denver Nuggets always have a chance to win basketball game. He is that special.
yeah.
Best
True.
center in the West. You want to talk about best center overall? He's in the conversation. He's so talented.
Moving on. Topic 2. Breaking news: Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving will be cleared for home games as New York City changes the private sector vaccine mandate to allow exemption for athletes and entertainers in the workplace. What are your reaction to this? And are the Nets now contenders with Kyrie being full time?
Yeah. So first, yeah, this was reported by Shams, and
Yeah,
yeah. So and has become official. This was at the time not specifically official, but now it's official. So but my reaction to this, oh my goodness, that's my first. Oh my goodness, because we both talked about this. Kyrie Irving being part time, they have no chance at the championship. They're a first round exit team, right?
yeah.
He's full time now. They're contenders. There's no question they're contenders. I know they don't have Ben Simmons back and he's expected to come back. We'll see when he comes back. But with or without Ben Simmons, they are contenders. Ben Simmons is gonna make them better. But they are contenders. This is scary. I've had, teams like Miami and Milwaukee on the top. This move right here with Kyrie being able to play full time has completely changed my whole perspective. So all I can say, short and to the point, they're contenders and it's scary hours in Brooklyn.
Facts. I mean, I think this really changes a lot, man. Like he's here full time now. You know what him and KD can do by themselves.
You could
They
argue they're the
strengthen the
best duo in the
roster
league right now.
after the Harden
After
trade.
the beatdown they gave Philly, by the way, dang, I was not expecting. I got flamed by Danny.
Yeah, they got better, and it's a scary team now. Added Simmons, got rid of Harden, and I feel like I just can't wait to see them play because now the roster is more complete. Kyrie's there 100% of the time now, and he's been balling part time. So imagine what he can do
Oh
in
my
full time.
goodness, the 60-point game
Crazy.
he had against Orlando.
Yeah, I really just want to see like how the postseason is going to be because I don't think they can change much in the regular season. There's only like what 10 games left around. So I mean,
But
I feel like
they just obviously the main piece is Ben Simmons. They're missing him now. That's the main piece now. Seth
yeah,
Curry's there, Andre Drummond. I like their bench. It's very good. Seeing Marks, man, shout out to him, what he did. Lost Harden, was able to acquire Ben Simmons, acquired they needed a center. Then they got Andre Drummond and they needed more shooting. They added Seth Curry and they went to the buyout market and got Dragic, the guy who led the Heat in scoring in the playoffs in the bubble. Shout out to Sean Marks. Great GM. Comes from San Antonio. Can't be surprised.
and I do think they're contenders. I mean,
Yeah, it's clear. There's no question about it.
Kyrie, KD. I mean, what else can you say? Like that's contenders alone. So I mean, just special.
They're the best duo in the league. I mean, you can't even say after they beat Philly. I mean, I have to say they are.
I think they are. Now, do you think Harden should regret leaving the Nets?
So actually, Josh, I want to hear what you say first.
All right. I mean, honestly, I don't think he should
Oh, okay.
because you have to look at this, right? The team, they were struggling, injuries. The roster wasn't composed that great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kyrie part time at the time of Harden's leaving. KD
Hurt.
injuries. You don't really know what's up. Harden there, he's kind of getting the blame for this when it's not really his fault in a sense. And I feel like he left. He thinking I have this chance. I'm gonna play with somebody I know is gonna be there game in game out. Even though Joel Embiid is injury prone at times,
That's what I was thinking. Like, what I'm
but
saying,
but he
injuries are
doesn't
part of the
really.
game.
But with Kyrie's situation, I mean, of course now that the mandate for him has been lifted, it's easy to say, oh, he shouldn't have left. But at the time, it wasn't. It wasn't confirmed. It wasn't like he didn't know if it was gonna stay or go.
Yeah,
And I don't think to like take that chance is fair for him. And he's the only one on that team who hasn't won a ring.
that's
So
true.
I feel like if he has that chance, he has to go take it, and that's what he did. So I feel like he doesn't regret it.
So, Josh, I mean, I think you made some good points, but honestly, it's hard to. I'm gonna have to say, is it okay if I'm in the middle here? I'm gonna say yes and
Yeah,
no at the same time, and I'm gonna explain why. Yes, because his best chance to win a championship is in Brooklyn. When those three guys are playing, there is nobody basically who could beat
yeah,
them. There's
true.
really nobody. That's how talented they are. Also, no, because at the time that he left, like I said, I'm gonna have to agree with you. They were the 18. They were on a huge losing streak. Kevin Durant was injured. Kyrie was part time in and out, so the pressure goes on him of being the number one guy. And Harden clearly doesn't want to be the number one guy anymore. He just wants to win a championship. He's
Yeah,
very and those two already won titles. And when he arrived to Philly, he said like, "I'm happy to be around a team that actually wants to like win." So he throwing shots.
yeah,
But at the same time, Brooklyn they beat him, and Ben Simmons didn't even play. But I feel like in the middle because at the same time I feel like yes because like yeah because if those threes are playing, that's his best chance. And I say no, well because Kyrie, besides the vax, he has situations where he's in and out. But then if you think like James and Joel and James and KD, I think James and KD's better. KD's the best. So it's like
yeah,
it's hard, but it could have been a lot more things. Obviously, the Kyrie situation, he probably wasn't happy. There was a lot of things going in and out. He probably didn't want to be part of a team that was like dysfunctional in a sense. So there was a lot. It was clear. This is a very tough question. But I'm in the middle, yes and no, because there's reasons why. Because that's a dynasty, and no, because there was some dysfunction.
Yeah.
But it gives him, I think a little bad look for leaving a team that was struggling and then just moving on. Because KD being hurt, of course, knock on wood, I don't want Joel Embiid to get hurt, but he's injury prone too. So moving on to topic 3. The Champions League round of 16 has ended. PSG were held as favorites to win, but lost 3-2 to Real Madrid over 2 legs. What is your reactions to this? Will the roster and talent that PSG have, is it one of the biggest disappointments in recent history?
It is straight up. Like there's nothing around it. This roster, one could argue. I mean, it's probably one of the most expensive ever. You have like look at the players on this team. Like I'm just gonna list a few right now: Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Donnarumma, Verratti, Sergio Ramos. Like, dude, like these names are like talents that is like, should I say, generational talent in on these names, and they're out again. It's like it's crazy. It's honestly embarrassing, and
Can't deny it.
I don't understand what is going on. Maybe it's the egos, because what I'm starting to think is with this talented of a roster, the only one thing that could tear it apart is the egos and behind the scenes stuff. So maybe, with these three top players, as they're all forwards, Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar. They don't really do much defensive work. Like they don't track back, like they don't come back and play and help out the defense. And teams now, you got to do that. Like defense is played by the whole team, offense is played by the whole team, pretty much. They're up there. They're not coming back on defense. They're not trying on defense at all. So they're pretty much luxury players that only play half of the time, essentially, because they're not playing on no defense possession. They're not trying on defense, and it's just embarrassing to watch. Like Messi is arguably the greatest of all time. Many people consider him the GOAT. And that performance he put up, I'm sorry. Yes, he did play well in leading up to that, but in that elimination game, you got to step up, man. You got to take over. And we'll also be talking about Ronaldo because he also did the same thing in his game. But it's just embarrassing to see, man. I expected way more from this team. This team was the favorite. The favorite. Like that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, but and I know that they can't blow it up, but even though I did hear Mbappe might be out the door this summer, but it's just shocking. And this, I'm saying this now. This has to be the biggest disappointment. Messi, you signed Messi. You signed Messi. People were saying that this team is a lock. You signed Messi and you still get knocked out. It's honestly it's embarrassing. But let's not discredit Real Madrid. Benzema had an amazing second leg, 3 goals to win the tie. I mean, special. They stuck through it. They came out with the win and they played great. So hats off to Real Madrid. Good luck in the next round. And PSG, you should be embarrassed.
I just want to make my friend Danny, Josh.
Yeah.
He made a good analogy, like a good comparison. It was a basketball thing. So I'm just paraphrasing what Danny said. He said that so basically LeBron is Messi. Okay,
Okay.
Neymar's been in soccer for quite some time, so he compared that to Giannis, right? And then
Yeah.
Mbappe, a young and up and coming star, who's won a championship with France, World Cup. Compare that to Luca. It's basically combining Giannis, LeBron, and Luca. If you combine them three
Yeah.
together, and they were in the same team and they got eliminated in the first round. It's basically like that. That's a big disappointment. Also, people would be after LeBron
That's
on him
true.
for losing the first round with that
Facts.
type of talent, and that he believes that Messi deserves. It's like the media, like nobody says anything against Messi. It feels
It's
like it's
true.
like you have to,
It's
like it's not
true.
fair. Like we would attack LeBron for that, but he
Exactly.
feels like doesn't have that for Messi.
And that's a great point. I completely agree. When you're at that high of a standard, you're like he's a tier above the rest of the players on the team, like arguably, like legacy wise, he's clear above them. And I'm not saying, and honestly, like you said, I haven't seen any like any hate besides besides like the Messi haters. Like I haven't seen any like objective like call outs on Messi. Like I'm sorry, but like you said, he's basically the LeBron of this team. He's the best on this team.
And I feel like legacy matters. Like
It
when you
does. It
when you call
does.
every season you assess it. Like this season, LeBron will get a lot of attacks, especially if they don't make
Yeah.
the playoffs. Like obviously, like on the media attack, but yeah.
Yeah. And just put up that. Do you think that this will have any impact on Messi's legacy at all? Because I don't think it will.
You know, wait, you
I
say you
don't.
don't think?
No, I don't. Because look, in my eyes, it does. But I'm talking about like in like the general public. I don't think anyone's going to care. Like
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good point. That's a good
yeah, like
distinction because I feel like it should take a hit on his leg
yeah, it
because
should. But I don't think anyone's going to care about it.
I want to actually ask you this question. He's won a lot in Barcelona.
Yeah, he has.
And now he shifts to a new team and he couldn't even get out
Yeah,
the first round. Do you believe? I'm not saying, because obviously he is one of the greatest. If he's not number one, he's number two greatest.
yes,
He's played in the Copa Cups even 2 times in the finals, had a chance to make the penalties, didn't make it, lost to
yeah,
Chile twice. He's a star
yeah,
player, so you expect him to perform. Then he
yeah,
did win the Copa Cups, but no, of course, compared to the Euro, no knock. It's a lot. The conference, you would say, is a little weaker, right? No
yeah,
knock again.
yeah. It
But
is.
do you feel do you feel like he's more of a system player, or like you just think it's just one bad season it could turn
I
around?
mean, to be honest, that is a good point to say because, like I said, he's played in that one league his whole career. He's played in League One in France. He scored 2 goals for the entirety of the season.
Really? Oh
Now,
wow.
now that's a shocking stat to say, but it
That's
is actually
shocking because
factual.
he can score every game.
It is actually factual. He has the talent to, but he only scored 2 goals this season. He does have 10
Maybe
assists,
the fit was
but
hard between those three guys too. It could have been a fit issue too.
I
Like,
mean,
too
yeah,
much, like, I wouldn't say ego, but like, like they believe I'm the star. No, I'm the star. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say.
That could have a
But
factor.
honestly, like it's actually like that's a very I mean, like I said, he's playing that one of these whole. I mean, I guess he's trying to adjust to this league, but that's not an excuse. You've been playing against Champions League competition for years. So even if you're used to that league, you played teams from other leagues and you dominated those teams. So why is it now you step out of your comfort zone? You're looking like different. I mean, I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing.
Mm.
And even this, I have a quote here from his teammate, Danny Alves, right? They both won Champions League in Barcelona, right? They played together for a long time. He says this, and I quote, I hope Leo Messi can come back to Barca. For me, Leo isn't enjoying himself out there. For me, he's out of his place over there.
I think that's true.
Like that's just saying to me that builds on what you're saying. I'm not gonna disrespect him and say he's a
I'm
system
not
player, but
disrespecting saying that he's actually, because I believe, obviously we've seen him play once because he's played with Argentina on the cup and we saw him go to the
yeah,
finals. He's played in the Copa. He led them to a championship. So I'm not going to disrespect say he's just. I was just thinking like maybe that's like. I'm not saying he is. I don't believe. I think he can turn this around as just one bad
yeah, I
season.
think he can too.
I think has a factor with the fit. The fit seems like with all. I feel like there's some ego. It's possible some ego in the teams. Obviously
Yeah,
with
I
so
think
much
so.
talent. Um,
And
and then at the same time, obviously, he underperformed. There's no
he
question
did.
about the whole team. He is the star. He's the
Yeah,
best player on the team, and he deserves blame.
but
That's
the
it.
thing is,
Now,
I
as a
agree.
star, I know Kawhi Leonard, when he choked the 3-1 lead to Denver, I'm putting the blame on him.
True.
Of course, the media, you didn't hear a lot from the media because they only do that for LeBron, and
That's
that's
true.
not fair.
Yeah,
And I've been honest in any type of great players, Kawhi Leonard, he deserves the blame. You have to come back next season and show, okay, yeah, I had a bad season, own up to it,
yeah,
and go out there and win. He deserves blame. Of course, you can't give him 100% the blame, but when you're a star, you get most of the blame, and he deserves it.
he does. But the thing is, in Barcelona, he was the guy. You
Yeah.
know. Now he's playing in
This
PSG.
feels like a
I
little
feel
bit
like
with like, even though KD was like he's better obviously
yeah,
than Curry time coming there, this is not your team. This is
yeah, but
Steph's team. That's what it
yeah,
feels like with Messi.
yeah. But the thing is, Messi joined that team last. So are you gonna say
That's what I'm
that?
saying.
Are you gonna say that he joined the team now it's his team, or
So
is
it's like,
it
oh no, it's
just take a
Neymar.
step
It's
back?
still my team.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you could play here a few years, we can win something, but it's still, you know what I'm saying, still that Neymar and Mbappe. So that's just interesting.
yeah, it is.
But yeah, obviously he deserves blame. But obviously, I feel like he could turn this around. I'm not saying it's discipline. I think he can turn this around. But I feel like that was just a question in my head. That was just wandering in my head. I just want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So moving on, Manchester United were also knocked out by Atletico Madrid 1-2 over two legs. What is your reaction to this?
Another embarrassing performance. Ronaldo, as well as he played in the Champions League, he has to take blame, just like I said with Messi. Like
Totally
you're the
agree.
leader on this team, you are the senior player, you're literally a club legend. You are a legendary player for this team. And I know it's not your fault 100%, but I'm sorry, but like you said with the LeBron thing, if this is LeBron, people are blaming LeBron. And I'm not gonna say it's his fault 100%, but you gotta take some blame for this. As is the manager, as everyone else on the team, but I'm holding you accountable because you are like I said before, arguably one of the greatest players of all time. So I'm holding you to a higher standard. So of course you're gonna take some more blame.
Of course.
But this team, I'm sorry, this team is not good at all.
Mm.
Like Harry Maguire, shocking. No pace, no speed, no awareness at all. Embarrassing. And to me, Man United played exactly how Atletico wanted to play. They let them have the ball, meaningless possession, do nothing with the ball, nothing. Atletico was a defensive set team. So you have possession the whole time they're fine with it because they know you can't break them down. And
Okay.
honestly, it was just
Yeah.
embarrassing to watch. I mean,
Mhm.
I never expected them to go that far because the roster isn't that good. But with the player of Ronaldo's caliber on your team, and the roster is it's I'm not gonna say it's a bad roster. It's a good roster. It just doesn't fit together, and I feel like
Mm.
there's a lot of work to be done. And like I said, both exits are embarrassing from two players I consider to be arguably one and two all time or of the past recent history. So both of them out this early, embarrassing. They're on a standard that's higher than other players, so I'm going to hold them to that standard. And I just want to see them do better in the future for however long they play, however long that may be.
I have a question. I know we just passed this topic, but do you think Messi's gonna go back to Barcelona?
I mean, I'm not sure how long his contract is currently. I think it might be,
I think it was
is it
like
2 years? I'm
two, three
not sure.
years.
But I think eventually he will. I mean, I feel like he'll end up retiring there. I mean, I feel like they'll make something work and I'll be going back there.
Personally, just real quick, I feel like it's like if you're a star and then you leave, it feels like I feel like then it looks like, man, you just quit it on them. You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
does.
And I feel like he shouldn't leave until you get like finish the job. I feel like he could get that championship, but you got. I know maybe the rumor with that Mbappe's gone, like he's going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have Messi and Neymar. That's still a lot. That's
Yeah, it
enough for
is.
sure.
And they played well together when they played in Barcelona. So I mean, they have that connection.
Definitely don't think he should leave. Now, if you want to go back to Barcelona, don't blame me. That's you played there for so many years. Ronaldo's kind of did that. He was in Juventus. He did win a championship there, right?
Yeah.
Came back. He did his job. I just
He
think
doing
Messi
out
got
the
to
league
finish
there.
the job. You could play there 2, 3 years. KD played 3 years in Golden State. He got two championships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Also, now 8 teams had advanced to the quarterfinals. So what are your predictions for the semifinals? First matchup: Real Madrid versus Chelsea.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Chelsea just because
Mm,
they are the defending champions. They did win last year. Um, and they're a great team. No knock on Real Madrid, but I feel like Chelsea is the more complete team all around,
mm.
and I feel like Chelsea has that game.
Moving on, Bayern versus Villarreal.
Villarreal. I'm gonna say
Sorry, I said that wrong.
I'm gonna say Bayern. I mean, I feel like Villarreal has had a good run. They have a great coach. Unai Emery playing great, and the system is really good. But I feel like Bayern is gonna edge them here just off talent alone. And I mean, who knows what can happen because upsets do happen, upsets do occur. But I'm going with Bayern.
All right. Man City versus Atletico Madrid.
I'm gonna go with Man City here. I mean, I feel like I said before, Man City's roster is amazing, over the top, just all around talented. I feel like they're gonna overpower Atletico Madrid, even though Atletico does play with that defensive mindset, let the opposition hold possession and play defensive. But I feel like Man City is gonna overwhelm them in this game.
Liverpool versus Benfica.
I'm gonna go with Liverpool here. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty obvious why I'm saying this. I mean, Liverpool is a great team. No knock on Benfica. They've done really well here. I mean, maybe they can pull off an upset, but Liverpool's one of the best teams in the world, and it'll be tough for Benfica to pass them. So I'll go with Liverpool.
All right. So then, what's your predictions for the semifinals? So what's your two teams from both sides? And yeah, let us know.
Um, there's gonna be Chelsea, Bayern, and then Man City, Liverpool.
And then who wins? So who wins between Chelsea and Bayern?
Um, hmm. I'm gonna say Chelsea, and then this Liverpool Man City one. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I want to say Man City, but yeah, actually, I think I'll go with Man City. So I think it'll end up being uh Chelsea, Man City in the final again, and I don't know because last time it was a pretty tough game, and I'm not sure. It's a toss up. Maybe I'll come back to that later.
Do
And
you think? Do you think now, if this was the same finals, Man City comes back and gets their revenge?
versus Chelsea,
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, they're both great teams. It's just too close to tell. Even the last round with Liverpool and Man City, I mean, I feel like that's very close to call too. So it's kind of tough. I'll just wait and see then.
So you said like it's a toss up. You're not really sure right now with the
Yeah,
finals. All right, but it's between those two teams. That's what you believe.
yeah.
All right. Moving on to topic number 4. The playoffs for the European World Cup qualifiers are underway. So, what are your reactions to each result? So, the first one, Sweden versus the Czech Republic, and Sweden won 1-0.
It was a good game. Isaac with the assist for a good goal in the 110th minute, which pretty much ripped the hearts out of the Czech Republic fans, which I kind of feel bad for. But that's how it goes in this. It's tough. Good game. I feel like Sweden deserved the win, and they'll be advancing.
So, number 2, Wales versus Austria, and Wales defeated Austria 2-1.
Gareth Bale, like what can you say, man? People say he's washed up because he doesn't play for Real Madrid that much, but I think he's still a top player. Like his history, his talent, his free kick, amazing. Like there's nothing you can say. My jaw dropped when I saw that free kick. We all know he's a world's legend, and it was just a great win, and they're advancing.
So number 3, Portugal versus Turkey, and Portugal won 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected this. I mean, it was a
They
good
better
game.
get the job
Yeah,
done. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Ronaldo
unlike
right
someone
now.
else, but unlike someone else, yeah, Ronaldo does have pressure on him, especially with him being knocked out of the Champions League. He has to
And they
qualify this
didn't even
World Cup.
qualify. They didn't win the group. They have to
Yeah,
go through the playoffs.
yeah. So he has to step up and really lock in on the rest of this run.
Yeah. Number 4, Joshua. This one is the shocker of the century. Italy versus North Macedonia. North Macedonia wins 1-0.
Macedonia.
First, of course, your reaction to this, and what does this result say about the Italian team? And also, just want to say they did win the Euro Cup. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Italy should be embarrassed. Like honestly, no disrespect to North Macedonia. I respect that nation for what they did. Scored in the 92nd minute, winning the game. Italy, you got to put this away, man. Like honestly, I'm arguably gonna say that they had the easier match.
they already lost. They should have
Like
won their group
yeah,
easily.
yeah,
No
of
knock
course.
on Iceland, but come
Like I
on.
think, and to think that people were thinking that Italy, Portugal, who's gonna make it? Italy's going home.
Oh,
They're going home. They're going home.
we thought that
Look,
was gonna
they had
happen.
to
It felt
play.
like a
Look,
dream
they had to play
matchup.
North Macedonia
Now,
and
if you would have
and
lost to
Portugal played
Portugal, I
Turkey.
don't even
Like
mind that.
embarrassing, bro.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, I don't even mind if they lost to Portugal. Yes, it's still embarrassing because you just won the Euro Cup and you couldn't even win your group, and that's the same thing for Portugal. But
yeah, it's
Portugal got
embarrassing.
the job done, and it's not over yet. But they got the first round done.
Yeah, and if
This
I'm
is
being
an
honest,
embarrassment. They missed the
I'm looking
World
at
Cup back to back. They
yeah.
just won the Euro Cup. They had a
Hmm.
great run, and you're telling me now people probably think this team is overrated.
I mean, people are like the Euro win was good, and I'm not gonna
And the Euro
discredit them,
Cup is
but
one of the most competitive leagues.
I'm not gonna discredit them because they play well throughout it. But it's just tough. Like it's kind of embarrassing. Like what does it say about the
You
team?
can't. There's nothing to say. You got 4 years. You have to wait 4 years now, and a lot of
Some of
things
the
change
players
in
won't
four
even be
years.
on the roster.
Yeah, we seen Germany win the World Cup, and what they came back 4 years later, they lost. They didn't even make out the group stage. A lot of things can happen in four
Like
years.
it's actually like it's so embarrassing, man. You win the Euros against England in penalties, by the way, and then you North Macedonia.
No
No disrespect,
disrespect,
but
but embarrassing.
that's embarrassing, bro. It's a joke.
And especially that they won the Euro Cup, it felt like, oh, Italy's gonna, because they didn't make it the year before that. So you think they'd advance now? It's a done deal. And the
Yeah,
group that they got, with that group,
yeah. They
that they
should be
couldn't even
embarrassed,
win
man.
the group.
It's embarrassing. And for some of the players, this is the last run, so
Yeah,
that's tough.
you could lose in the World Cup, like, but come
Not
on,
even qualifying,
dang,
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
So moving on, topic 5.
Ooh, I'm excited about this one.
The NBA playoffs will begin soon. We'll make our official predictions on who is coming out of the East, the West, and who is winning the championship. So, for the first question, who are your pretenders in the Eastern Conference?
Uh, I got one. It's the Chicago Bulls. I don't believe they're in that
Mm,
contending list. I think they have a really good team. I like, DeMar DeRozan's a great player. Zach LaVine, they're two stars, all-star caliber players. Lonzo has been injured for a lot. And then they got Vucevic. He's been a two-time all-star. They're a really good team, but I just feel like it's just not their year. I just feel like they can't contend. I think there's just a lot of teams better than them in the East. I can name 4 teams better than them in the East. I do think they're gonna be a first round exit team. At most, their ceiling is the second round. But yeah, I just don't believe they're contenders. I just think they're a little below that.
well, for me, my pretenders are, you ready? The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are pretenders. We've been talking about this a bit, and like you said, they won't have the two best players in any series. And I'm not saying that means much, but it's just something to look at. In the last few games, right? They lost to the 76ers without Harden or Embiid. That's a one, right? They lost
Okay.
to the Warriors without Clay, Curry, or Draymond. And they lost to the Knicks without Randall and blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. And look at this. Jimmy Butler last 3 games in those games, 25 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 55% from the field and 42% from three. And they're still losing. I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with this team. Like let's be honest.
It's crazy how a team loses 3 games and like
No,
now people are just blowing all the smoke like they're like a bad team. I mean, because the East is competitive, but I'm not gonna say obviously losing
well,
three
let's
those
just say
three
this,
games.
right? If they
Those
were
three
the
games they
fourth
should have
seed,
won.
right?
I'm not gonna say
If they were
that.
the fourth seed right now, would you be saying that they're contenders?
Yes,
If they were the fourth seed,
it doesn't matter what seat they are. They're contenders.
I don't think
Okay, now
seed matters
obviously if they're
either,
the
but I'm
eight
just
seed is
saying that
different, but like if they're top
people are
four,
like
they're
reacting to
contenders.
like I just don't think this team is as good as everyone is like making out to see. And I'm not being just
Look, I'm not saying they're the favorites. They're the best team in the East, but they're contenders. They're on the list. For you to put them as pretenders, this is embarrassing.
how
I
is it
understand they lost.
embarrassing,
I understand they lost 3 games in a row, and they should have won all those 3 games. But they're going through a tough stretch, and we're gonna
bro?
see they're built for the playoffs. Miami's
They're
built
built
for
for the
the
playoffs.
playoffs.
No, they're not. I'm sorry, they're not, bro.
They
They're
won it.
not.
They made it to
No,
the
I'm
finals
not, bro.
2 years ago in the bubble.
You look at the East 2 years ago, and you tell me, was the East as competitive as it is right now? It wasn't, and it's not
Okay,
even a
but the Heat
question
are
to say that.
better than
No, it's
those two
not.
years ago. Tyler Hero is a
And so are other
baller.
teams, and so are other teams, and so are other
You're
teams,
right, but they're still in
and
that
so are other teams.
mix.
And let's look at last year, right? Jimmy Butler is a heart and soul of the team, right? Let's look at Jimmy
Okay.
Butler's last year playoff season, right? In the 2020 playoffs, right? Game 1, 4 for 22. Game 2, 4 for 10. Game
You
3,
mean
7 for
2021,
17.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Game
okay.
4, 4 for 15. Jimmy Butler's playing this good now, and they're getting cooked. So imagine when he's playing this bad.
Tyler Hero's not there yet. I know that's
Come
still,
on,
but he's
bro.
the important player.
Oh,
He's the
Tyler
sixth man
Hero.
of the year.
I'm just saying, but that's my piece. The Heat are pretenders. I have no faith in this Heat team. I'm sorry. No respect to any Heat fan out there, but I'm sorry. Like,
Tony
I have
got a
no faith
lot.
in this team.
Tony. I was talking to Tony actually
This
earlier,
team.
and he was telling
Nah,
Tony was telling me he's tired of the disrespect that you're giving the Heat.
hey,
He doesn't. He don't
hey,
like it.
I'm not a hater.
You're a
I'm
true
just trying to
teller.
like, I'm just trying to give my opinion, and I just don't think this team is as great
Yeah, you're
as
not the only one. Danny feels the same
people
way.
are
My
like.
friend Danny feels the same way.
People are this great as this team. I mean, they have great pieces. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's a star. Bam is a star. Tyler Hero is a budding star. I think he should win 6 Man of the Year. Arguably a candidate for most improved, but we know who has it on lock.
I don't think it's
DeJounte
on
Murray,
lock. I
but
don't think it's on lock.
but yeah,
He's in. He's in the. DeJounte Murray should probably be the favorite, but it's not a lock because Tyler Hero's on that discussion
but I
too.
think honestly the Heat are pretenders this season.
Okay.
And I mean, when they go into the playoffs and they run against if they do keep first seed, they will have a favorable run. So I mean, that'll probably help
As
them.
long as they
But
don't play the Nets,
yeah,
they should be favored.
that'll probably help them. But I feel like, yeah, they're my pretenders. Like, I don't think I honestly can't see them competing for a championship this season. Because also what goes into this as well is even if they were to go that far, what team can they be in the West? Like do you think
You
that
mean the East?
yeah. Like do you
Well,
think in the conference finals I mean I'm just making this up, like they'll beat the Nets or like when in a matchup.
look, I'm
They'll
not
beat
gonna
the
say
Bucks
they
in a
can,
matchup.
but they have a
They'll
chance.
beat
Like to
Philly in a
not give
matchup.
them a chance is
Yeah, there's a
outrageous.
chance, but it's not but
They make that series to 7. They got a chance to win it. I'm not gonna say they
to
actually have a
7.
chance to win the series. They
I don't
got
know about
they have
that.
the best coach in the East. The best coach.
I mean that's up for debate. I mean
In the East, you cannot name a better coach in the
I
East right now
mean
than Eric Spoelstra. I understand they've been a
that's
3-game
fair.
losing.
I mean
They deserve heat for it because they lost to 3 teams they should have beat. I understand that, but I feel like they're going through a rough stretch. They've been number 1. They've been great all season, and I feel like it's just happening. Obviously, him and Jimmy Butler, Udonis hasn't got into it, but I feel like that's just competitive thing. It just happens when you play for the
that's
Heat. There's
fair.
expectations, and
But look,
they'll be fine. But
this is happening
expectations.
so close to the playoffs. You're telling me that this isn't even the slightest bit concerning to you at all?
No, it's
The
not
playoffs,
because
the
I heard
playoffs
the
are right
play
around the
that
corner.
happened. What I heard what happened
The
is that
playoffs are right around the corner.
Jimmy Butler didn't close out.
I'm not talking about the argument. I'm just
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
okay.
I'm talking about like the form in general.
No,
Like
I'm
they're
not
playing
concerned.
this.
No,
Nah,
not at all.
not at all. I
Nah.
mean, okay, that's fair to say. I mean, but I just think
Because
they're pretenders
there's
in my
still a few
opinion.
games left in the season. Like it's not over yet.
I mean, that's true, but I just don't think they're up there to me.
All right. And any other pretenders?
No. So, what are your top 3 contenders in the Eastern Conference, and which team do you think will win the East?
All right. So to build a little suspense, Josh, I'm gonna start from number 3. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 3. I have a tie. Okay. Number
Mhm.
3, I have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat tied for 3rd. I think,
Mm.
especially you disrespecting
I'm
Miami,
not
number
disrespecting.
1 seed
Like, look
right
at the
now could
teams,
change
bro.
in a
Are they
matter
better
of
than the
seconds.
Bucks? Are they better than the Nets? Are they better than
They're
Philly? They're
right
not.
there with the. I could
No,
see them
are
being.
they
I think they're
better?
better
Are
than
they
Milwaukee.
better?
I
Not
think,
are
but
they right
I'm
there?
giving respect
Are
to
they
Milwaukee.
better? Are they better than any of those
Yeah,
2
they
teams that
could.
you said?
Yes, they're better than Milwaukee.
No, are they better than Milwaukee? Are you sure? Because
Yes,
Milwaukee has the Heat's number.
he
You know
beat
that.
them the year before that. It's
That was the year
split.
before that. I'm talking about most recent. Most recent.
Fine, you're right. That's why I tied them. I believe they're equal. That's why I put them as a tie because
That's fair.
Milwaukee has their number. But I believe in a 7-game series, Miami has a revenge. They obviously, if they play Milwaukee again, they're gonna have some, revenge. They just got swept,
Yeah.
but their team is better. Tyler Hero is a different player. Kyle Lowry
Okay.
is a huge addition to their team.
Okay.
They have a great bench, the best bench in the East. Jimmy Butler, Bam are playing good, but Jimmy Butler has struggled. But he's got to fix that. Obviously, if Jimmy Butler don't play good, they're not winning. But I believe he's going to play good.
You
He
hope he
had a
plays
bad
good.
series. He's a great player. They call him Jimmy Buckets for a reason. He's clutch.
And just disclaimer, no disrespect to Jimmy, he's a great player, but I'm just saying, like, if he doesn't show up, he's showing up now, and they're still getting cooked.
All right, but that's three. Look, it's
But look at
3
their
games.
but look who
It's
they're
3
losing to.
games.
You're saying this, but look who they're losing to.
Bro, they were
He's playing
9-3
out of
when
his
Jimmy
mind.
Butler and Bam
He's playing out of
Adebayo
his
were
mind.
hurt. They
He's
were
playing
9
out of
and
his mind,
3.
and they're getting
They were
cooked
9 and 3.
by
They beat the Suns
bro.
without Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, when Chris Paul, Devin Booker, everybody was healthy, but nobody's going on the Suns. Oh, this is embarrassing. They're done. Stop it. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, look, let me finish what we're saying. I'm sorry we got a heated argument, but I understand your opinion, I understand mine. But they're tied for me, the Bucks and the Heat. Okay. Number 2, I got the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, I would have had them not on this list, but Kyrie Irving is full time. I expect Ben Simmons to come back. Their only problem is defense because we saw Memphis 15-2 without John Morant, a very good team without him.
Yeah.
Just beat the Nets, and Kyrie dropped 43, and KD had 30 plus, and they lost 132 to 120. Memphis is legit, but at the same time, the Nets struggle defensively. That's their only issue. Offensively, they are buckets. They get buckets. Ben Simmons will help that. But I'm hoping Ben Simmons will be back soon. We know he got a legitimate injury, and I just want to say a speedy recovery. Number 1, you ready for this, Josh?
Yeah.
I might get some heat from this, especially from Danny and Brandon. I got the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. I got the Philadelphia 76ers. I know they put up an embarrassment against the Brooklyn Nets when Kyrie, and it felt like it was really personal. Kyrie took that match and locked him up, James Harden. But I believe in the Philadelphia. I think they're the best team in the East. I'm going to say why, because they got either the first or second duo. I'm going to say second because KD and Kyrie went in there and waxed them.
Yeah.
But they have the second best duo in the NBA. James Harden is special. He can get a triple-double any night. Joel Embiid, the clear MVP of the league. He literally could score 30 in his sleep. He's one of the most unguardable players in the league. When he gets in the post, you have to send 5 people to him because he's that damn special. And then Maxi's been emerging, of course, against the Heat. He dropped 28. He beat a Heat team by him, like, not going to say by himself, but without James and Joel, that's pretty impressive. Tobias Harris playing a lot better. He's getting his rhythm back. Doc Rivers, he's a great coach. The only concern I have with the Sixers, obviously, they struggle to close games, right? And when the big games matter, James Harden's on that list of never showing up. It is what it is. He got to prove wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure on James Harden. I just want to say that because if he doesn't get it done this season, there's a lot of pressure. You forced your way out of 2 situations. Whether how he did it or not, you did that. It's going to look like you quit on 2 franchise. He got a lot of pressure. The Sixers got a lot of pressure because I'm going to just say this right now. If the Nets and the Sixers played each other in the first round and he lost to the Nets, and if he lost to the Nets, I'm blasting James Harden.
You have to.
I have to. Because that would be, you literally left them and you lost to them. Doc Rivers got a lot of pressure too. He choked 3-1 leads 3 times. A lot of pressure on him. Joel Embiid, a lot of pressure because we know the Sixers. It's all nice when you arrive there, but if you do not show up, you're going to get booed. And that's what it comes when you play in a big market. So there's a lot of pressure, but I believe in the Sixers. I think Harden will get it done. There's a lot of pressure. He's happy there. He's with his guy, Daryl Morey. He's with the co-owner, Michael Rubin. He knows them. He's excited. He's going to get it done. I'm picking the Sixers, and I do believe, the Nets. Could the Nets beat the Sixers in a playoff series? Yeah, I'm not going to say nah, but I believe in the Sixers. They're going to get it done, and I'm going to get a lot of heat from this, especially from Danny and Brandon.
Pretty much agree with you. Bucks third, Nets second, and Sixers first.
You have the Sixers first? Wow.
Sixers
I'm shocked
Nets,
you don't have the Nets number 1.
They're interchangeable. See, it's kind of not in order, but I feel like Nets and Sixers are interchangeable to me because the Sixers roster to me, I feel like the Sixers roster is really good, and the Nets, they have that star power, but I feel like it's just something I gotta see.
Okay, so I gotta ask you something.
Yeah.
You obviously have the Bucks third, okay?
Yeah.
You have the Sixers and Nets up there in the top 2, clearly, right? But in a 7-game series, if those 2 teams play and Ben Simmons is back and he's the same player that he was defensively, we just talking about defense. Forget about offense.
It's tough.
Are you picking the Nets to beat them? Because we saw the waxing that they gave them. You got to pick one, Josh. You got to pick one.
I can't pick.
You got to pick one, Josh.
I know. I think that's going to 7. I can't pick. I don't know. I generally can't pick.
Because if it's going to 7, KD and Kyrie going to win. They're clutch.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
it's tough, bro. It's tough.
Fine, I'll leave it at that. You have it between the Sixers and the Nets for you. They're equal. Okay, fine.
What's your dark horse team in the East?
It's the Boston Celtics.
Hmm.
I mean, they've been number one defensively. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they've changed it up. They were so bad, and out of nowhere, they become so good now. They're a really good team. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. Jason Tatum's been balling. Let's not forget about the 50-plus performance he put against the Brooklyn Nets. Jaylen Brown is a star, potential all-star snub. I like the Derek White trade. That was a really big trade. And the coach, Spurs prodigy, Udoka, is doing a great job. They're a great defensive team, and they're going to be a tough outing for any team to go out there. I think they're a dark horse team. I'm not picking them to come out the East, but they're a tough team. Any team that has to go against the Celtics is not going to be easy.
I agree. I mean, I didn't pick them, but I do agree with your points. I have the Cavs. Like,
Wow. I want
I
to hear
like,
that. Oh, okay, I'll score. Of course, you're assuming health because they are a little banged
yeah.
up right now.
I mean, I know that obviously they're kind of injured a bit right now, but I feel like with their size, like they can cause some teams some matchup problems.
A
And I
lot
feel
of
like
teams, maybe
it would
every
be
team.
it would be like an interesting. I mean, I know they're probably not one of the better teams, but I would love to see them play. Like, I feel like they can give a team, some trouble.
Like the
Their
Sixers, they could
size,
give the Sixers trouble.
like just because of their size and that alone and their talent, I
And
feel
they're
like
defensive, yeah.
it
And they're,
it, it,
yeah.
it will be a fun series to watch. So I feel like they might be able to sneak up on a team. Who knows?
They could pull off that for sure.
So who are your pretenders in the Western Conference?
Utah. I've been saying this since the day one. Utah Jazz are pretenders. And I'm going to say this right now, Josh. You ready to hear this? They're not making it out the first round. Yeah, I
Dang.
said it. Because they're the fourth seed, and most likely they're playing the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks will
Yeah.
beat them. I just want to say that the Utah Jazz are frauds. They are not relevant. They are a good team, a good regular season team. That's what they are. And when the playoffs come, they will lose. You want to know why? Let's go back to their history. What happened last season? No Kawhi Leonard, and
Yeah.
they lost.
Yeah, that was
Obviously, it was
crazy.
2-2 with Kawhi, but still they lost. They're pretenders. That's my pretender in the West, and they're not winning no championship.
I agree 100%. I mean, to me, the Jazz are always pretenders. I mean, it's sad to say Donovan Mitchell's a great player. They have some good talent on the roster. Rudy Gobert, I mean, Rudy Gobert, but uh, yeah, I mean, they're pretenders to me. I don't feel like they're even close to being contenders, and I don't feel like I can't see them winning a champ anytime soon at all because they're been the same for years while teams are passing them up. The Grizzlies have passed them. The Suns have passed them. Like, just look at these teams, and I feel like
Warriors, Denver ain't even healthy yet. Dallas,
like there's
Luka
teams
Doncic
that
is a beast.
yeah,
And
like
also, I just want to say, if Luka Doncic, he's averaged literally like 34, 9, and 10 against in his
yeah,
playoffs career, and that was all against Clippers, against two elite defenders. He made
yeah,
them look like, of course, no disrespect, like bums on the defensive end. You're telling me
yeah,
he plays Utah? Utah's a great team collectively, but Luka Doncic is going to get his way. There's no Kawhi Leonard and PG to stop him. He's going to
yeah.
get
It
his way
is.
in that series, if it happens, of course.
Yeah, I agree. So, who are your top three contenders in the Western Conference, and which team do you think will win the West?
Again, a suspense. I'm going to start with 3. Number 3, I got the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, without
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant, they've been a really good team. Obviously, what it comes down to, they don't have experience, but they've been in the playoffs last season. That's a little experience. Played
Yeah,
Utah in the first round. Um, they're a really good team without Ja Morant. Again, 15-2. You were saying it all season long. We talk about Ja, but it's time to give respect. We got to say the whole team in general. Ja's great, and he makes them better, but this team is good without him. They're very talented. They have a top bench. I think top 3 bench, at least in the West, they're top 2 when it comes to their bench. Is really talented. I like their team. Maybe, okay, my bad, top 3 because I can't forget about Phoenix. But they're a really good team. They got Ja Morant leads the way. They got Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams. They're just a fun team to watch. You really see the grit and
yeah,
grind culture. They just go out there and compete to win. Desmond Bain has been a great story. He's been great. Dylan Brooks. I just like the team. The reason I put them 3, I understand they're young, is just I don't see like any other team that's really better than them, straight up. But
yeah.
actually, just to give a shout out, Dallas is 4-0 against them in the regular
That's
season. So
true.
Dallas is a bad matchup for them. So let's not go out there and say that. Dallas is the type of team that they could beat them. But I'm just going to give respect to Memphis for what they've been able to do. And Memphis is probably going to get the 2nd seed because Golden State's injured. They're probably going to have a favorable matchup. Number 2, might surprise people. I know some people have them at number 1. I have the Phoenix Suns. I think why? I mean, they made it to the finals last season. They're a lot better than this season. I know I haven't given them the respect that they deserve, but I got to give it to them. Obviously, they're a really good team. And they could clearly come out the West. They got a legitimate chance. Chris Paul is great. Devin Booker. But to me, what makes them so good this season, they added the thing that they lacked in when it's size, when it comes to the center position. They added a JaVale McGee. Like last in the playoffs, Giannis gave them a lot of problems. So adding the JaVale McGee, a Bismack Biyombo comes in. And now they have DeAndre Ayton. And also the young players got better. Mikal Bridges got better. DeAndre Ayton has got better. He got a chip on his shoulder because he didn't get his max contract. He deserves it. Pay the man. There's a really good team. Best coach in the league, probably Monty Williams, and he is the favorite probably to win Coach of the Year because he's doing an exceptional job. exceptional job. Cam Johnson, let's talk about the talent that they got. Number 2. Number 1, of course, Joshua, when I'm talking about this is assuming health. If Curry's not there,
Yeah.
Golden State got no chance. Curry's supposed to be back. He's hurt, but he's supposed to be back in the beginning of the playoffs. I got the Golden State Warriors. If healthy, they're built for the playoffs. They've been there. They made it to 5 straight finals. They're a really good team. I got the Golden State Warriors. No question about it. That, in my opinion, they'll come out the West. They've been a great team all along. I know Klay Thompson's coming back. I feel like they have to get adjusted to him again, but he's a great player. Game against Milwaukee dropped 38, so he's going to be fine. This is a good team. Jordan Poole's been balling. I like the bench. I think they have the best bench in the West. And yeah, I just think they're the best team in the West, of course, assuming health.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with your list 100%. I have Grizzlies at 3. Great young team led by John Morant. The team is playing pretty well. I mean, honestly, like there's nothing I can say. Great young team, playing well, trying to get some big wins, and I'm impressed, honestly. Next, I have Suns at 2, and they've been playing well all season, but I just don't see them edging a healthy Warriors, which I have at 1, the Warriors. And I feel like that team, like you said, built for the playoffs. The history they have, I feel like they're coming, they're prepared, and with health, hopefully they'll be 100% healthy. I feel like they're my pick. Now, who's your dark horse team in the West?
I'm gonna say the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, we heard Jamal Murray's in practicing with the G League team. If he comes back, and we know Michael Porter, if they even come back this season, they're the type of team they can win the whole West. That's how talented they are. You add that type of talent, Jamal Murray. You saw what we did to the Clippers. It makes me cry every day thinking about it. But he violated my team. He dropped 40 in a game 7 against 2 elite defenders. He made them look like bums. That's straight up the fact. And this is a dark horse team. They could clearly come out the West. Why? They have an MVP. They have an MVP. He won an MVP. He deserves it, and he has a chance to win it this season. I think Embiid is the favorite, but he has a chance at it. And yeah, they're my dark horse team. There's no question about it.
Yeah. My dark horse team is the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, they've been playing really good. I mean, Luka's playing out of his mind as usual. I mean, it's crazy like the
I'm gonna
numbers
have
he
to agree
puts
with you
up.
there.
Like, and I just picked him. Like, I feel like if any team can like surprise someone and like sneak a win or sneak a series win, I feel like it's them.
You know why, Josh? It's because Luka to me reminds when LeBron was like 22, 23,
Yeah,
he made it to the finals. Luka to me could do that. He could really do that.
yeah. Like
He
he
could
has
be
that
the type of
talent.
guy he play Phoenix. He just carries his team to a
Yeah,
victory.
imagine. That'd be crazy.
And his team, obviously, LeBron, when he had his team, was a lot. No knock on them. Was decent defensive team, but not a good offensive. Luka's offensive
Yeah,
team is offensively better. So, and he has a
mm,
great coach.
true.
But I'm not mad at that, Dallas. But I picked Denver because Jamal Murray, if he even comes back, oh my goodness, man, I wish I could put the Clippers in this conversation. But I gotta be realistic, man. I know if Kawhi and PG come back, we got a shot though. But it's probably not this season though.
So who's your pick to win it all?
Josh, so I have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Golden State Warriors in the finals. I'm not gonna lie, Josh. I've been high on Golden State all year long. And this is hard for me to choose between one of these teams. But if I had to choose one, Josh, and it can go either way, I just want to say this is interchangeable, but I'm going to pick one, okay? I'm going with the Philadelphia 76ers. They're winning the chip. This is James Harden's year. I believe in James. He's never performed when it matters most. He's played Golden State many times. He needs his revenge. He got Joel Embiid, and Golden State will have a tough time guarding him because I don't know James Wiseman is coming back. They have a good team. I like their team. They got a good mix. But Golden State can clearly win this series. I'm not saying they don't have a chance. This would be a 7-game series, no question about it. But I'm going with the Philadelphia 76ers. I think when they get to the finals, they're going to have the better duo. I think James and Joel will be the better duo, but it's very equal. But I'm going with the Sixers. It's very tough for me to decide that.
Mm.
No, but you have 3 teams technically because you got the Nets, the Sixers, and the Warriors.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like, I know the West. I believe the Warriors are coming out the West, but it's a toss up. I mean, I feel like the Warriors can beat both teams, but I feel like the Sixers would have like the more favorable matchup against the Warriors because I mean,
But the
Draymond
Warriors
Green,
have the better bench, though.
yeah,
And of
Draymond
course,
Green is a great
James
defender,
Harden
but
again underperforms when it matters most. And Joel Embiid has never been in this situation.
yeah, so it's kind of tough to call.
So you got to
Honestly,
pick one,
I don't, I
Josh. Come
can't
on,
pick, I can't
Josh.
pick,
You
I
got
can't
to.
pick, bro. I
They
can't
want
pick,
to,
bro.
Danny and all my friends, they want to hear it. They want to hear who
I
you
can't pick,
got. I
bro.
picked the Sixers. I'm going to get heat for it, but I did it.
You
Come
picked
on,
the Sixers to
Josh.
win it all.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like I can't pick because it's 50-50.
It's fine. I understand you didn't make a decision. It's very difficult. You have 3 teams. You
Yeah, it's
clearly have
tough.
3 teams. You either have the Warriors, the Nets, or the Sixers winning the championship. That's very clear. Um,
Yeah,
But when we predict the first round, do our first round predictions, you have to
I will. I
come up
got
with
you,
a
bro.
decision.
It's just so tough. Like these teams are like so good. Like I don't know who to pick. Like especially coming out the East. Like
The East is tough. So, we actually about to have a special guest coming in soon. So that was our basketball part. Let us know what you think. Joshua couldn't make a decision on coming out the East or the championship, but I made this decision, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for it, especially from Danny and Brandon for picking the Sixers to win the championship. I believe in the Sixers. James Harden, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Uh, but we're about to have a special guest, and yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
So we are back with a special guest. He came back for the third time. I call him the legend, the wrestling GOAT. He knows about all types of wrestling, any company. My guy Fernando, welcome back. We had to have you back for WrestleMania season. It couldn't be WrestleMania without Fernando.
Yo, thank you so much, bro. I always appreciate being here, bro. It's always fun, especially for WrestleMania, bro. Biggest event of the year for wrestling, at least.
Yeah, that's true. So Josh, get us started with the topics.
Yep. So WrestleMania, 2 night event in Texas, and we're pretty much gonna give you guys opinions on each match. So, what are you guys' predictions for the SmackDown Women's Championship match featuring Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey?
All right, Fernando, you go first. I want to hear
I
this.
bet. Thank you, bro. So honestly,
Mm.
this build up for Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey has not been the best because,
Mm.
people just really don't like both of their characters on television. Ronda Rousey right now is being portrayed as a good person, even though she's a natural villain, bro, and they could do that really well. So the build up pretty terrible. However, personally, I think that Charlotte Flair is very talented. I love seeing her wrestle. I also think, despite contrary belief, I think Ronda Rousey is pretty good in the wrestling ring as well. And her and Charlotte have had good matches before, so I mean I'm pretty excited. Personally, the build up's terrible though, but personally I'm
So
excited.
so who's the winner?
Who's the winner? Oh man,
Got to pick one. That's
I
what we're
do have to
doing.
pick one. I'm gonna go with Charlotte personally,
All right.
because Charlotte's a safe pick all the time. My opinion, always a safe pick.
Yeah, I respect that. I think that's a good pick. But I'm gonna go with Ronda Rousey. I think she's gonna win. She came back from at the Royal Rumble, and she won the Rumble. Let's not talk about that useless Rumble pay per view, though. Brock Lesnar winning. But besides that, no, of course Brock Lesnar is a talented star, but obviously it felt useless. But because he's already an established star. But I think she's gonna win. I think it just makes it. I feel like WWE is gonna put the title back on her. With this matchup because I do think we know next WrestleMania is potentially Ronda versus Becky. It might happen. So I think Ronda's gonna win.
What are you guys thinking for the Raw Women's Championship match featuring Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair?
I'm gonna say Bianca Belair. I do believe she's gonna win. I'm a fan. I'm not gonna say I'm against this match. We've seen this match a lot of times, Fernando. So I do think WWE has that issue of repetitiveness. But I'm gonna go Bianca Belair. It just makes sense. Obviously, she lost the championship at SummerSlam. There's a lot of controversy around it. And it just feels like she faced Becky Lynch a few times and lost. Becky Lynch used cheating tactics, but I just think she's going to win. I think it just makes sense. She's won it last year at WrestleMania. It just makes sense. The perfect stage for her to now win the Raw Championship. I think she's going to win it.
Yeah, so I agree completely. I also think Bianca's gonna win. I think Becky's been the champion since Extreme Rules or something like that in September. It's kind of been
Yeah.
a while, so not a lot of. I mean, people love Becky, but I think people aren't as excited anymore for this title reign. Definitely, Bianca's the right person to go to for a new title reign. So yeah, I think we got Bianca easy.
Yeah, I agree.
So the KO show where Steve Austin is set to confront Kevin Owens.
Yeah, so actually, Fernando, this might not be an actual match. It just might happen where Steve Austin comes out. Obviously, Kevin Noah has been violating Texas for a long time for the build-up, and I just think probably it's possible. Who knows? It might be a match, but anyway, Steve Austin will be a winner, whether it's a match or just him being on the show. He's in Texas, his hometown, so
Yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I love Steve Austin at WrestleMania. It's gonna be cool. I hope he hits a
yeah.
stunner, bro. That's all I really want from it. I'd love to see Steve Austin hit a stunner on on Kevin Owens. That'd be amazing. So I mean, that's all really I expect out of it. It's gonna be a fun time. Some people say, as you said, it could end up being a match, or could go farther than just one stunner from either of them. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see where WWE takes it.
Yeah, me too.
Next, Edge versus AJ Styles. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, so if I have to pick a winner, Fernando, I'm gonna go with Edge. I think he's gonna win. I'm really excited about this heel run he's going on. He turned heel. Thought it'd probably be AJ or they would just have a babyface versus babyface match. I think Edge is gonna win. I think he's. It feels like this is hard though. This is a toss up, but I'm gonna stick with Edge. I think he's just gonna win it. I think gets his moment. Obviously he lost the WrestleMania before that to Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, who's now Bryan Danielson on AEW. But yeah, I just think I think Edge is gonna win, get his moment at WrestleMania. He's been waiting a lot of years for this, and he deserves it. Well, he did win against Randy Orton, before that, but like in front of fans. I mean,
Yeah, I also think Edge is gonna win, and I agree like completely. I actually really like the heel work. I like the chair shot he had the other day on AJ Styles, like during that Rollins match. That was really
he's a
cool.
really good heel. Like he's a great promo skill guy. Just really
Yeah,
good.
no, he's incredible, and I think both of them are just like super talented wrestlers. So like WWE was like kind of hinting at this match, and people were like, just do it, and like we weren't sure if we were gonna get it, but we got it. So it's gonna be great. I mean, like Edge, AJ Styles, like bro, two super talented wrestlers. Like what more can you ask for? It's gonna be amazing.
Hall of Famers. AJ Styles did it in many companies. One of the greats. And Edge, 11-time champion. I mean, so the resume speaks for themselves.
Hmm. So next, Ray and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
You know what, Fernando? I'm going to go with Miz and Logan Paul. I think they're going to win. I know it's a little Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Miz and Logan Paul are going to win. I'm really, I got to give a lot of credit to Miz. He's a great heel. Maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves, but he deserves it. And in Logan Paul's first match at WrestleMania, I think he's going to do good. I think he's going to, Bad Bunny set the bar really high. So I think he's going to do a good job. And he gets booed a lot, Logan Paul. So does the Miz. Makes a lot of sense. I think they're going to win. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like they're going to win.
Yeah, so I'm not really too sure with that either, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Ray and Dominic Mysterio because just like I think like it'll be a good win. Like it'll be
Father and
a
son
good
winning at WrestleMania
yeah,
together.
like
That'd be cool.
it'll be a good feel moment. Also, just because like as you mentioned, like people don't like Logan Paul as much. Whenever he comes out, they boo him. So it'll be great. But I'm real interested to see what they do because sometimes when they bring in celebrities, they kind of want the celebrity to go over and win, as we
Yeah.
saw with like the Bad Bunny situation. So
Yeah.
you could be completely right, but I'm not sure where they'll go with this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Ray and Dominic Mysterio. It'll be really cool.
I just want to say I was watching Raw actually before when Miz and Logan Paul are both from Cleveland. And then there was like, oh, you want to have this match here between the four of them? Like 2-on-2, Miz and Logan Paul versus Dominic and Ray. And Miz was like, no, like it was Cleveland, his hometown. And he was like, no, they can't host it. He violated Cleveland. He's such a great heel. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, Miz is awesome, bro, for sure.
So next up is Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin.
Yeah, so between that match, I'm going with Drew McIntyre again, man. I don't like this match. No offense. We've seen it too many times. Just get it over with. Drew McIntyre, easy win.
Yeah, I think like the build up is really stupid. Like it features like Madcap Moss, right? Madcap Moss is like the right hand man of Happy
Yeah.
Corbin, and then
They're
like
just laughing all the time.
yeah, like it's just real weird. It's not going to be too interesting. And I mean, Drew McIntyre is a former WWE champion. Happy Corbin has had his moments in WWE. He's been the king or whatever,
He
king of the
beat
ring.
Kurt Angle in a retirement match, so.
I don't want to talk about that, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm not joking, but it's just like oh my god, like that when you mention that, bro. Oh my god, it pisses me
I
off.
mean, I gotta say it, right? Because he
But
did
you're
that
right,
shit.
yeah. But I mean, like Drew McIntyre, former WWE champion, and just like
I feel bad for him. I feel like he deserves his moment. He obviously beat Brock Lesnar at the main event. He never got his moment, in front of fans.
yeah, for sure. He didn't get his moment. It's kind of messed up. So like there's like I mean, bro, you can't have him lose this match. Like Drew McIntyre, I mean like Corbin's a built guy, but like it's Drew McIntyre. Like
He's gonna win. I'll be
yeah,
stunned if, but
yeah,
shocked
yeah.
if
You can't have him
never.
lose against Happy Corbin over like a feud about Madcap Moss. Like so weird.
Yeah, yeah.
So the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's gonna be interesting, but I just don't see the Bloodline losing anytime soon. I just think they're gonna hold all the gold for a really long time. So I think the Usos are gonna win. I mean, they're one of the best tag teams in WWE. I just see them winning. I just don't see them. I don't know who's gonna be the tag team to beat them, but I don't know. I just don't see. I think it's gonna be a good match. I'm excited about it. It's a new team, new challenge. We don't have to see the New Day against the Usos. Anyways, by the way, New Days and Usos always putting up great matches.
Bangers.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
bangers.
also shout out. He just wanted to say something about Biggie. Speedy recovery to him, man. So sad about that news, but hopefully he gets better soon. But yeah, this is gonna be a great match. But
Yeah,
once again, I'll pick the Usos.
yeah, I would pick the Usos as well. Like for every reason you said, and also what is Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs gonna do like as the SmackDown Tag Team Champion? Like I don't really see where WWE wants to go with that. And like as you said, like I don't see the Usos losing anytime soon. And I mean you're right, bro. They're definitely one of like the top tag teams in WWE, and they've been doing this for a while. There's no way they
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, real quick, I just want to say something about Scott Halls. Obviously, he passed away. Just want to say, condolences to his family. Very tough time. He's a WWE legend, Hall of Famer, and just want to just say that.
So next, the WWE Champion versus the Universal Champion. Winner take all. Championship unification match with WWE Champion Brock Lesnar versus the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. What are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to it. Yay, third time in 6 years. Whoa, or 7 years. Excited, I guess, but look, I'm not. This would have been a dream matchup if they haven't competed against each other too many times. Yes, the babyface heel, they're different people, but like I said, we know the moves are going to be the same. So I'm gonna just go Roman Reigns. Just don't see him losing. I don't know when he's gonna lose, but it's not happening at WrestleMania. He's gonna win it He's gonna win.
Yeah, WWE has been like really pushing Roman Reigns, like
They're
obviously
they're
forever.
pushing him to be the greatest like ever. That's what they're pushing. Like as champion, his reign is crazy. It's like over 500 days. He's
Yeah,
already the greatest Universal Champion ever.
and they also had a WWE like Madison Square Garden live event. I'm not sure, maybe like a month
Oh
ago
yeah,
or
he was
something.
standing on top of Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was standing on top of Brock. Like he beat up Brock. He put him like on like he like the steps when you go into the ring. Like he had him there on the steps. He was bloody. He was standing over him. Like
And he said acknowledge to Brock, like to
yeah,
acknowledge me basically. Yeah.
WWE posted that. Like everyone was talking about it. Like I think like that was kind of like the foreshadow for what's gonna happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is
But
gonna.
I do hope there's no interference. Hopefully it'll be a clean match.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I also think Roman Reigns like I don't know, just WWE has been doing so much with him. Like obviously, like Brock Lesnar has always, in any capacity, he'll always be a champion. You know, Brock Lesnar. But like I just think like Roman Reigns, like this is WWE's pick. Like WWE wants and need Roman Reigns to
Yeah,
win.
Vince, even though it was against of pushing him all these years as a face, I'm just speaking from the outside, but like it seems like whenever Vince like has a pick, he's going with it no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a Vince characteristic trait.
Yeah, that's true.
So next, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
I'm gonna say,
So
yeah, go Eddie first. You go Fernando.
as I mentioned earlier, like it's just really a WWE thing to like have like the celebrity win these matches, and also like Johnny Knoxville, like kind of a legend. Like if you've seen any of the Jackass movies, like he's a real like cultural icon, and like I don't really know like what stunts he's gonna do there, like because he's a stunt man, so like obviously he's gonna do like a crazy spot that's gonna be his thing. But I think like I love Sami Zayn, but knowing WWE, they're definitely gonna give Knoxville little moment here. Unless WWE's unhinged and they just let Sami Zayn like beat the hell out of him, because Johnny Knoxville is crazy. He might just want to get like you know beaten up by Sami Zayn at WrestleMania in front of like a bunch of people. That might just be what he wants. But he also WWE might just want him to win. So I'm gonna go with Johnny Knoxville just because they usually want the celebrity to win in these celebrity matchups.
I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn is doing the one of the best. Like I just love the work that he's doing in the ring. His heel work. He's just a really good wrestler. I feel like deserves more respect. I think he's gonna win. I think this is the perfect opportunity to make him destroy the legend. I mean, he's very famous. You can see when he comes in when his music hits and he comes into the WWE ring. He's very famous. He's very popular. Like you say, he's been in those type of movies. But I think Sami Zayn's gonna win. How to increase Sami Zayn to be even more booed? Make him win in convincing fashion. So Sami Zayn for the victory.
So next, the Raw Tag Team Championship match with the RK Bros versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy.
I'm gonna go with RK, bro. I think they're gonna win. It doesn't seem like they wanted to split them up yet, but it seems like this would be a perfect split. It could even be a main event: Randy Orton versus Riddle. The way the storyline is, just based on the storyline, we've seen it with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. They had that kind of storyline. Is that kind of level? Um, yeah, I just think they're gonna. I think they're gonna win. I think they'll get their moment at WrestleMania. The fans love RK Bro. They're very famous. The merch, they're top sellers. I just think they're gonna win. It's gonna be a good match. I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be a great match, honestly. I love the Street Profits. I'm a
Me
huge
too.
fan of the Street
Yeah, I
Profits.
like the work they do. They were even considering them splitting them up, like putting them in different
It's insane.
brands, but I'm happy they didn't do that. I really do enjoy it. But these two guys could be in the like stars individually. Montefiore is so great that off the heaven move that he always does from the heavens, like that move is so crazy. The how high he jumps
No, dude, I
and
agree completely.
yeah,
Montez Ford is like has superstar like written all over him for sure.
yeah.
I
But
mean, like he is, but
yeah, Angelo Dawkins too is a great like he has some great moves in the ring, great wrestler. But if anything, if the RK Bro weren't gonna win, I think Street Prop they haven't hold that gold for a little while. So you know if
yeah,
they
I'm
weren't,
I'm gonna just go with the Street Profits just
mm,
because like I want to see him win. I love the Street Profits. I do
yeah,
love
totally.
RK Bro, but like, I mean, like as you said, we could be getting closer to this Randy Orton Riddle match, and
But
that'd be
if they
awesome.
want to break it up, I know SummerSlam's around the corner. That's fine, but that it has to be in a big pay-per-view.
Word.
So next, the women's tag team championship match: Queen Zelina and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalia and Shayna Baszler.
So Fernando, this one is to me like I'm a huge fan of Liv Morgan. Feel like she deserves a title, like the Raw Women's Championship, SmackDown, or even Tag Team Champion. But I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks and Naomi. I think Sasha Banks, just speak on her, it's one of my favorite wrestlers. Obviously, a WrestleMania record 0-6. It just makes a lot of sense to give her to her. She'll be the first 3-time, I think, tag team champion. She's won it twice already. I don't think anybody's won it 3 times. Naomi, the Team Bad reunion. I think it just makes a lot of sense. It's cool. I think they deserve to win it. Sasha Banks deserves for that record to at least break that streak, and I think she should win it. But who knows? WWE, knowing WWE, they might pull out shocker. We saw it with the Iconics when in WrestleMania before. A
Yeah, like
previous
this.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
This is a real interesting match. Just like as you said, like you never know what WWE can do. I would love Sasha Banks and Naomi to win as well. I think Naomi definitely deserves a bit more love in WWE than she
Yeah, she
gets.
definitely deserves more respect. She's a really great wrestler, very
Yeah,
talented.
but you know what? I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley and Liv
No,
Morgan, just
I'm
because
not
like
mad at that pick.
like I don't know if it's just like constantly having like Liv Morgan just be so close to these moments and not win. Like that is such a WWE thing, but like there's no way they do this at WrestleMania. Like the fans are just gonna like implode, bro. I don't know what they'll do though.
This is gonna be cool. Maybe you might be right because maybe of course like they're in Dallas, Texas, right?
Yeah,
But like obviously Sasha Banks' record will go more. Do they want Sasha Banks' record to be broken in LA, right?
word.
Or instead, no knock on Dallas, of course, great city, great place. But knowing WWE, they might. I mean, they're rumoring for Rock and Reigns at WrestleMania. They clearly want to take. It seems like they're taking the LA one very seriously.
Yeah,
Who knows? But I think I think they will win it. I just believe it. But who knows?
So next, Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
yeah. This this
You
is
go
gonna be
first. You go first, Fernando. I don't know.
this is gonna be a funny, interesting
I really
match,
like Pat McAfee, by the way. He's a really good in ring.
dude.
His commentary skills off the roof. He has made me want to watch SmackDown just because of his commentary and how he violated Austin Theory. He's just great. But yeah, go
No,
ahead.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like Pat McAfee is just like incredible, like on the mic, on commentary. Like this guy's great. Um, I just did want to mention. I heard a rumor. There could be a Vince McMahon involvement in the Pat McAfee
Oh,
Austin
is he
Theory
gonna be the
match.
special guest referee?
They're saying he'll be there in some capacity, bro. He'll be there in some capacity. That's
Can't
what
be
I heard, bro.
can't be WrestleMania without Vince McMahon.
Exactly. So listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Austin Theory. He was huge when he was on the Indies still, but like since then I haven't really like seen what people were seeing in him then, and I
I
see
like his
everything. And
charisma though. I think he got
he
a good
does have
charisma.
charisma. Like he's
He got swagger.
yeah. But I think Pat McAfee's a cool guy, bro. I hope he gets a nice little WrestleMania moment, bro. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Pat McAfee just because Austin Theory, he's an interesting guy, but not really the guy I want to see win.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go. I think because it's a Vince guy, I think Austin Theory is gonna win it. I think because he's being pushed as to be a top star. I really do. I really do like. I'm a huge fan of Austin Theory. I think he's there. He's doing a good job. Just comes like a guy, a lot of good charisma, good swagger. He's good on the mic. He's getting better. I believe he could be a good wrestler. It's obviously gonna take time for him to be a star, but I think he will win. It's a Vince McMahon guy. He's clearly one of Vince McMahon's favorites, and I think he's gonna win. But I'll be
Yeah,
rooting
that's
for Pat
true. But I
McAfee.
would say Pat McAfee is also, a guy that Vince McMahon really likes. He was
That's
recently
tough. Vince McMahon got to pick one then.
no, yeah, because Vince McMahon was actually recently on the Pat McAfee show for like an
Oh yeah, that
hour,
was
bro.
great too. Yeah.
No, yeah, that was awesome. And it's like, bro, like Vince McMahon giving you an hour of his day, that's insane, bro. Like
He's
not a
he's
lot of
so good
people
at the
get that.
commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
that's
lot of
hard to
people
get.
get like that treatment. So I'm not sure.
That's
They're
true,
both
but
favorites, bro. You're right. That was a really good thing to point out. I actually didn't think about that. You're right. They're both Austin Theory is a Vince McMahon guy for sure. Handpicked.
I do believe Austin because he's gonna Pat McAfee could he's wrestled before in NXT against Adam Cole. So um I do think Austin Theory is gonna win because Vince McMahon is clearly pushing for him. But when it comes to the commentary, oh my goodness, what Pat McAfee has been able to do, it's just incredible.
Superb.
Yeah. So news is broke that Triple H has retired from in-ring wrestling. What's your reaction to this, and what is your favorite Triple H moment?
Fernando, you got the floor.
No, yeah, it's definitely, real sad to hear that there won't be any more in ring from Triple H. Even though sometimes some people might not enjoy when he's there, like I still think like he's incredible. Um, super storied career. Like he's been part of so many like important um moments in wrestling history. So like you know, much respect to Triple H. It was real sad to hear that. My favorite Triple H moment. It was kind of hard to choose, but when he became the undisputed champion after beating Chris Jericho, I think that's a pretty big moment because that undisputed championship like reign by Chris Jericho was pretty big, pretty important, like unseen up to that point, if I'm not mistaken. So to have Triple H win that, like that's one of the more well known like Triple H moments. But I will say, in another like favorite moment I have, when him and when he was in that like mixed tag team match at WrestleMania, like about
Oh, with
2018 with Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, and
Yeah,
then
that was pretty sick. I don't know, that was a fun moment for some reason. That was really cool.
it was, yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
got
I'll
Hall of
say
Famers in there.
yeah,
Kurt
so I'll say
Angle,
like
yeah,
when he beat Chris Jericho,
everybody.
definitely that's a big moment. Like undisputed WWE champion. That's incredible. But that moment with Ronda Rousey was pretty cool. It was a really good introduction for her into the company. So I think like
Perfect
yeah,
introduction, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. There's too many moments with him, but those are like the top two that immediately came into my mind.
Yeah, so my reaction to this obviously is very sad, to hear that he won't be wrestling in ring anymore. But obviously, I'm just so happy that he's better. Obviously, it took a lot of months. He came on Stephen A. Smith's on ESPN. I think it was on YouTube. I watched that whole interview and just it took it was a tough experience for him. It was just came out of nowhere what he had to go through, and I'm just so happy he's better and he's getting healthier every day. So just happy to hear that he's doing better. But yeah, of course, it's very sad to hear. He's one of a Legends Hall of Famer, no question, a 14-time champion. His testament. He's and Fernando, you know this well, Fernando. He's brought a lot of people over. He's taken a lot of L's in WrestleMania. He's taken a lot of people. Batista's been over, a lot of Randy Orton, a lot of stars. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, a lot of stars. But I mean, favorite moment. So could I give you a team one?
Yeah, that's fine, bro.
All right, so I was thinking my favorite is Evolution, like just him being in Evolution. I watched the whole thing. Obviously I didn't get to watch it at a young age, but then I got to watch it on YouTube a lot and really followed it to see this faction, how dominant they were. What comes in with, himself, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Batista. Then they kick Randy Orton, wins the championship. They kick him out the group. Randy Orton becomes an established star. He's getting there. And then Batista wins the Royal Rumble in a controversy, 2005, by the way, John Cena and Batista victory. And then they have to do it again, and Batista wins. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna choose this brand. No, I'm choosing you." Batista bombs, and Batista wins in WrestleMania. And then 2014, the Shield and Evolution, the reunion of Evolution. Again, how cool was that? I'm just a huge fan of Evolution. Anytime we talk about the best factions in WWE history, I think of Evolution, and he building this Evolution was a huge part why I believe Batista and Randy Orton became the stars that they are today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, listen, I can name like 100 Triple H moments probably.
I mean, yeah, I mean
Both of us
DX. We didn't
know.
even talk about
Yeah,
DX.
exactly. We didn't even talk about DX. We didn't talk about his matches with the Undertaker. This guy has done
Oh,
everything.
yeah. If I was gonna talk about singular moments, I definitely that Triple H Undertaker back to back matches they had. They're really good. I
They're
was talking about
so
his
good.
singular moments, but they got so much in the past that wasn't even born. So I even like it was so many in the past that he's. Oh, let's not even talk about. You're not gonna lie, even though like I'm not in 2016 when Reigns was like in the Royal Rumble and then Triple H was number 30 and he came out and won the championship. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I was kind of mad at that at that time, but
I was happy that he won it because I don't think a lot of people wanted Reigns to win it. So, but it was cool
that's
to see him like, wait,
that's also
Triple H? That was a shocker.
yeah, that was a shocker, but it also like not a shocker, like such a WWE thing. You know what I mean?
That's true. But I was kind of happy for him. Like Triple H is just he. Yeah, I know it was a small run, but like I was still happy to see that.
No,
I
yeah, for
thought it was
sure.
cool.
Anything Triple H is cool to be honest.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, like
DX got to be up there too. I totally agree.
even like just the entrances, bro. Like his
Oh
entrances are
yeah, the with the water bottle spinning the water
yeah,
out
yeah,
of
the water bottle spinning.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like everyone knows about that. Like everyone does that, and they think about him, bro. They're like, yeah,
Facts. That's
they're like, yo, yeah,
facts.
I saw Triple H do it. So yeah, I mean, just like incredible career, and as you said, I mean, just real happy to hear that he's better now. Um, he made sure to go through a process real well, kept it quiet, and then just came and told us the story after. So Shout out Triple H, real good man.
Shout out
And I
to these
mean,
companies, WWE, AEW, for keeping that, kind of information secured.
no, yeah, for sure, because
AEW's done it with, Brody Lee,
yeah,
and same thing with Triple H. So they're just good at keeping that in house, and when the time has come, they speak on it.
no, yeah, it's real good to see that. Beautiful.
Well, that concludes episode 17 of the Straight Sports Podcast. Once again, Fernando, thank you for coming on for the episode for WrestleMania season. Maybe SummerSlam. You're coming for all the big events. Maybe next time we could talk about a top 5 all-time wrestling list. I want to hear that from you. So
Yeah, for
you're
sure, and
definitely not your
it's
last
definitely
time.
it's definitely gonna take me until the summer to figure it out, bro. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be having debate. I'm gonna have debates with
but
myself every day about it.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
but
real
it's
thankful for both of you guys
yeah.
inviting me.
Always
Always love
Sure.
coming on here, bro.
Yeah, so I always appreciate it. But once again, yeah, this is episode 17. You could follow us on Instagram at the Straight Sports Podcast, and let us know. Me and Joshua made our prediction, even though Joshua wasn't too sure about the championship
I
picture, but
couldn't
I made my
pick.
prediction about the winner. I'm not going to say it now because Fernando's on the show, so he can hear it after. Who I picked to win the championship, let us know. I'm gonna get a lot of heat for it. And also WrestleMania, let us know. I mean, what do you think? We make our predictions right, but once again, thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Peace.